The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for short. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. New York City, sing it with me.
Yes,
Still
sir.
today, Hardwell, Knicks Talk Nation Radio. Man,
We here.
Monday, but we here. You know what I'm saying? It was a rough weekend for New York fans, but we still here. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? A lot to discuss, man. A lot went on over the weekend, man, in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We got a tough road ahead of us, but, you know, we're going to sit here and talk about it today, man. But, you know, before we get into it, Will, man, how was your week, man? And happy belated birthday, because your birthday was a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, as a matter of fact. But talk about it, man. How you feeling, man? Talk about it.
You know, I'm feeling blessed, you know, need another year, especially going through all the COVID things and all that that's going on. And, you know, I love the show. I love what we do. And I'm in Puerto Rico right now, and I still wanted to do the show. As they can see, my background ain't not the same. I'm in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, yo, I'm not missing no show, man. This is what we do. And the show is picking up. And there's a lot going on, like you said. My week was great, though, you know, with the birthday vibes and traveling. Everything was great. But really, it's all about the Knicks, man, because I ain't in a good mood if the Knicks lose, to be honest with you. But I still believe we're going 7. You know, a lot of people saying we not, and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
We'll see. Remember, though, what I said early on. I said I was happy that we just made the playoffs because we did way more than I even expected. And I just want to say that because that's what I said.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I do believe that we got a chance. Shout out to For the Love of the Game podcast, man. We see you, champ. Always showing love, for real. I do believe that we have a chance, kid. I do believe that, you know, it's one game at a time right now. I mean, we put ourselves in this hole. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at it, Atlanta did the same thing. You know what I mean? They came into Madison Square Garden, won game 1, took home court advantage. You know what I mean? We came back, won game 2, made things interesting, went down to Atlanta, and the Hawks did what they were supposed to do, protect their home court advantage. They took it away from us. Now it's up for us. It's up to us to go down, come back to the Garden, win 1 at Madison Square. All we got to do is win 1 at the Garden, kid. Go to Atlanta, play the game of your life, kid. And the next thing you know, we in game 7, a 7-game series, and it's up for grabs for anybody. So I believe that we have an opportunity to come back. But, I mean, I can understand why some fans may not feel that way because of the way that we played, you know, thus far. But, you know, it remains to be seen. But let's talk about what we saw, man. Like, what do you think was the biggest problem that we had in Atlanta, man? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the biggest problem with me is that Randall is keep trying to force his shot, and I understand he not hot, he not in his rhythm, he not in his flow, he trying to get it back. I understand that, but you got to find other ways to help your team win. And your boy, like you said, your boy, Barrett, he got to step up. He got to step up. Because I was listening to something today that made a lot of sense to me. And they said John Moran, Zion, and then he said Barrett. He was the third pick. What's up? But
Knicks, man, we see you. I'm listening.
But I understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still, why they not saying nothing about Zion not being in the playoffs? Or I don't know what's the. I'm just saying, it always turn political.
Yes.
And if you're gonna call it spade for spade. Because if you're gonna say that, he's not even in the playoffs.
That's a fact.
So that's a contradiction to me. But it makes sense because Zion was more box office this year than Barrett was.
That's a fact.
So I understood what they meant by where you went.
That's a fact.
Up? And he ain't did nothing yet. And that's why in the other show, when he was like, he could do something for us. And I was like, I said D Rose, I said Burks, I even said Bullock, because I felt like they was gonna double Julius, which they are, and they playing them to their left hand and back. That's another good point I have today to bring up. They playing both of them to their left hand. Being a left-handed basketball player, you have to know that's what they doing. Yeah. Now, even if you're going to still finish with your left hand, you still got to go right.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have. They know where he's going. He's going left.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead, bro. That's no, my last point on that is when I said before that Julius was going to have to pass it, and I said something like players was just going to have to step up. That's how I felt, because I didn't want to put pressure on nobody, because I knew if Julius is being double, it's going to be based on who's open. That's why everybody's so shocked that Derrick Rose is doing all this. But D Rose has got the ball in his hand, and they playing those dudes, and he getting an easy shot. What he's supposed to do but take it. Yeah. Nobody else not doing that, Stills.
That's a fact. Nah, you absolutely right. You absolutely right, kid. Nobody else is taking it, man. And I get what you're saying. But I think that, and shout out to For the Love of the Game podcast. He said it's simple. We need to execute, read, and react. Take what the defense gives us and hit your open shots. That's one of the biggest problems. We're not hitting no open shots. He said, y'all see Bullock pull up a lance and blow below on Trey. What? Okay.
Bullock pull a lance and blow on Trey. I mean, Bullock played all right. Don't get me wrong. Let me tell you why he did, Stills. He guarded that boy. Remember when the last show, I was like, they got to guard him. We were saying boxing one, they got to guard him up court, right? Yeah. Yo, I swear, some of the stuff we were saying really happened. They was guarding him. Yes. Bullock was guarding him all the way up court, and it kind of worked. It wore him down a little bit. And you wonder why McMillan was sitting him on the bench so long. Yeah. It's because son was really tired. Yeah. He knows him. He knows he's not effective when he's tired. So I give Bullock credit for guarding that man the way he did. And Bullock will hit an open shot. Yes. You know? And that's the thing. We have to put people on the floor that's going to hit the open shot. Barrett is not hitting the open shot right now. Yeah. Let's be honest. He's not hitting the open shot.
And salute to Robert Paul, man. You know what I mean? But I ain't going to lie, man. Like, you know, I said that RJ needed to have a big series in order for us to win this thing. And
he does, though. You wasn't wrong, Stills. Yeah, but I just felt he wasn't ready for it yet.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still got guys like DeAndre Hunter and everybody on the other side in Atlanta that's playing well. You know what I mean? I can't give RJ a pass for that. He came from a big school, Duke. But I can't, you know what? I can't blame Julius or I can't blame RJ for what's going on right now. I can partially blame the both of them, but I blame the coaching first and foremost. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a big advocate for Tibbs. I love the fact that, you know, he came in, he got the team best ball in the decade. They play hard, they play defense, but he's failed them. He's failed them in regards to prepping them for this moment. Nate, you've seen Nate McMillan he took pride in saying that the NBA just wants the Knicks to be there. So he gave his team a battery in their back. Like, they don't want us to win. They don't believe in us. You know what I mean? They shouldn't even be the fourth seed. Like, he put that in his team's head. And what did they do? They came out and punched us in the mouth. They took Julius Randle out of the game. Remember, I told you before the season was even over and before the playoffs even started, I said the Knicks was supposed to lose that game where they kept the streak alive against Atlanta. And the only reason why we beat Atlanta was when Trae Young got hurt. And
Yeah, I
he
remember you said
killed
that.
us that game. And I said, if we played him again in the off season, in the postseason, that's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? And it's
You
showing
did.
that
You
is
did.
a problem. You know what I mean? It's a huge
Fact.
problem. And the fact that Tibbs hasn't drawn up any type of defenses to kind of stop or slow Trae Young down. They're not putting bodies on him. They're not picking him up. They're not putting any real pressure on him.
Look, I don't think it's Tibbs' fault because like you know what Atlanta has that we don't have, to be honest with you?
Uh-huh.
Real shooters that are solidified already as shooters. That's why you see Gallinari. They paid the other guy, Bogdanovic or whatever, big money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you an example of they shooters. Hunter, I know all these players, bro. They shoot the ball.
Yes, they can shoot.
Yes, Barrett can't shoot better than those dudes. I followed this dude for a long time. His shot got better. His shot got better recently.
I get it. But here's the thing. They are making shots in a rhythm and an offense. Like they have an offensive scheme. Like if you look at the Knicks game plan, it's ISO basketball. This is why Julius Randle is so easy to stop. Like they're giving him the ball up top, and they're trying to make him into a facilitator. That's not his game, and that's not his game in the playoffs because they're taking it away from him. Now they're not moving him around. They're not trying to run him into the post to create some matchup nightmares, get their big men in trouble. They're giving him the ball up top and asking him to create something. So what he's doing is he's backing in the double and triple teams. He's holding the ball too long. He didn't do that all season.
That's what I was about to say, Stills.
He didn't do that all season.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead, finish.
No. But he didn't do that all season, and that's what's killing us right now. And the fact that I know that some Knicks fans out there felt like Elfrid Payton is the reason why we're losing. Elfrid Payton, we lived with him for the whole season. We lived with his mistakes the whole season. Why would you wait? Why would you mess with what got you here now in the postseason when it matters the most? To start Derrick Rose, not only to kill the chemistry in the starting lineup, but now you weaken our bench, where our bench was always our strong point. Quickly and Toppin played well with Derrick Rose in that second unit, and we took advantage of other teams' second units. When you shifted that during the playoffs, it killed everything. It killed everything. And shout out to For the Love of the Game podcast. He said our bench suffering. It's true.
I don't agree with that because let me tell you why. Back to my last point before I tell you why. The Hawks and Trae Young. I know Julius Randle's not a point guard. We played through Julius Randle because they double teaming Julius, right? Julius Randle's doing a great job passing the ball out of the double team.
He's doing a great job.
He's doing a good enough job to go. You just said throughout the regular season he did that. Now the problem with Knicks fans and everybody in general is this: look,
let's go.
When it works, it's okay. When it doesn't work, hear me out. We criticizing it the wrong way. Only thing Julius Randle isn't doing is making his shot. But let me tell you why. They have a master plan on defense for him already. So I'm not blaming him. This is what happens to good players. You want a scouting report now. It's not easy to do. You know what I mean? Cool. He is doing a great job passing the ball to open people, though. He's finding Bullock. I'm watching.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
He's passing the ball. Are they making the shots? Not all the time. Is he taking too many shots trying to find his rhythm? Yes, he is. I said that early on. But you know why? Because if he finds his rhythm, we don't have this problem that we're having. If you look at his field goal percentage and how many shots he took, if he made more of his shots, we were in every one of those games. So when we first started the podcast, I said he needs to stop forcing his shots and believe more in his teammates at the moment. Now, Tibbs' job should be putting the right people on the floor. Now, back to your point about Payton, if we wouldn't have moved Payton to the bench, we would have been losing by 40. Because if D Rose is having 30, take away his 30. How much is Payton going to have? I don't care about running no team in defense. How much is Payton going to have? Payton's going to have 12 the most. So if Payton has 12, how much we losing by? D Rose only did that because he had to. And you know D Rose still. He's not that type of player. He
Yeah.
only did it because he had to. They forced it in his hand. They didn't believe he could do it, and he did it. So now they're gonna have to D Rose better, and it's gonna open up more space for somebody else. If Julius find his shot, we may be better, or Barry need to wake up.
But
I want to hear what you want to say.
No. But I hear a lot of our offense is the reason why we're not winning these games. But in all actuality, it's really our defense. We're not stopping Trae Young.
We made good adjustments on him. We didn't stop him.
We're not making great adjustments, man.
I didn't say great.
Yeah.
I didn't say great. I said good.
He's still getting into the paint. He's penetrating the defense, still getting into the paint, and he's kicking it to the wide open guys, or he's throwing the lob up to Capella.
Okay, so you heard what you just said, Stills? You say he's kicking it to the open guy. Yes. He is, because somebody's on him now. And
he's breaking down our defense. That's what I mean. He's breaking down our defense. So it's not really our offense that's the problem. It's our defense. You know what I mean?
It got to be our offense, Stills. Do you agree if Randall makes some of them shots, if we not losing by a lot, even the end of that game, we didn't lose by 20. I'm just saying, if you look at Randall's field goal percentage and you look at Barrett's field goal percentage, they are missing a lot of shots. Yeah, Trae Young is supposed to do that. We already know Trae Young can shoot from the logo. So when you got to guard somebody all the way out there, Stills, that gives them an advantage to go and buy you. That's all that is. And they can't double because they have great shooters. That's who he's passing to. That's the point I said, when it's not about Julius. Yeah, Julius should be making more shots, but Trae Young's supporting cast is doing way better than Julius' supporting cast.
Nah, I get that, and I agree. The supporting cast is playing a role, but Randall is playing the same style of ball that he played all season. The difference is that he's just not making some of those shots, but a lot of those shots are tough, contested shots. That's what I'm saying. It comes back to yes, he's getting double teamed, but he's still forcing bad shots because the most improved player, MVP chance. That's why he's in his head right now. The fans is in his head, calling him overrated. So he's really going out of his way, and he's losing control. You know what I mean? For real. And yes, Knicks, man, we are taking call-ins. For anybody that does want to call in and join the conversation, the number to call in is 516-206-0711. Word. Now, he's taking a lot of he's forcing a lot of bad shots. Don't get me wrong. He got us to where we are today, but the playoffs is a different animal. And I've been saying this before we even got into the playoffs, that the game is going to change and he has to adjust his game to deal with that change, because they're going to take away a lot of what he was doing all season. And that's what they did.
Remember what you said last show or the other show? Even the last show or the show before the last. You said, Barrett, we need Barrett. And you know why you were saying that? Because we was on the topic of
take away RJ.
double teaming Julius, and somebody else has to step up. Who we going to get steady points from? And it just happened to be not Barrett, happened to be Rose. Fine. Yes. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have that many people doing it. Even if Rose don't do it next game, somebody else step up. Barrett step up next game. That's cool with me. Point is, the bottom line is this: the guys that Julius is passing out the double team to is not making the shots. They're not making the shots, and nobody is, creating any other shots for besides Julius, because Julius is holding the ball, trying to get himself involved. I agree with you on that point, and I said that when we first started. Julius is trying too hard to get his rhythm back.
Yeah, and it's hurting.
Yeah. It is.
It's hurting the team, man.
Like you said, all the stuff they saying, most improved player, that's all in his head. But he did get better every game, so I'm kind of looking for a come-out game for him, because that's how basketball is. He may play way better next game. If not, then he's just not ready for this stage yet. This is his first stage like this, So, like I said, we can't judge him wrong, because if we didn't expect him to really be this good, then let's look at really what we're doing. And if we add the right pieces, will this team really be good? Because this will let us know if we really need a scorer, because I already knew Julius couldn't be a steady scorer for this team with Brooklyn like that and Milwaukee like that for us to compete. Let's keep it real. It's not about just like you said, how you said we just wear our orange and blue. No, let's be honest.
Send a link to For the Love of Our Game podcast. You want the link for the show. For real.
Who that's L? I don't have, if it's not L, I don't have the other person number.
Okay.
So if it's not L, I don't know. I don't have their number. But the point I'm making is
call in. Z, you can call in at 516.
Tell them to call in.
516-206-0711. You can call in to join the conversation. Yeah. But so the same way that Tibbs made adjustments because he felt that Peyton, his play was hurting the Knicks, right? Why didn't he make that adjustment with Julius at times? Because truth be told, Obi Toppin is playing a better series than Julius right now.
How can you compare the two?
In less minutes, because he's more effective in less minutes.
No. I'm talking about the first.
No. Well, Peyton, because
how can you compare what I do? If I'm a coach, how can you say what I do with Julius and Peyton the same? How can you compare the two?
Because it's a team game, right? And you're gonna
put
the best players on the floor.
He's a superstar compared to Peyton.
Who's a superstar?
In the coach's mind, Peyton is nowhere near Julius. That's why he's on the bench right now. He's not stepping up in the playoff.
We got to call.
You don't agree, Stills?
Hold on.
Okay. We'll get back to that point. Yep, we got to figure that out.
Bars and Hoops Radio. Who's this?
Stills the Great.
What's going on?
Well, D-Flan.
D-Flan, what's going on?
D-Flan.
What up, fam?
You talk about it, man. What's going on? What's good?
Yo, first you did a beautiful job today, man, with the raffle and the cookout,
man. Thank you for showing love, D-Flan. I appreciate you, man.
You know, but let's get on these Knicks.
Let's go.
Listen, just like we said, Julius Randle was never a number one option. This all just kind of came up this year. We built momentum. Defense was together. We had chemistry. Yes. Like I said, I think that we 2 years ahead of where we wanted to be.
Yes.
And these other guys never been Bullock and them. They never played. And it was third, fourth. They were 7th, 8th, 9th on the team. Now they third, fourth, fifth. They're not used to stepping up like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But nobody on the Hawks neither, though.
I think they got to run Julius off the baseline or post him up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Tibbs needs to put him in better positions to be more effective. Definitely has to. And we see you at 717-497-4357. We got somebody else on the line. We'll get to you in a second. But yeah, Flan, I think that the coach has to put him in, like you said, put him in better positions to be more effective, man. Like, and it's to me, I haven't seen any real adjustments.
Right.
You got to coach him along too, man. You can't expect him to figure it out on his own, especially in his first time. You got him.
Yo, still.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what you did with Alex Burke. I mean, he ain't a go-to guy, so it's like they have nobody else to depend on. They play Julius so much throughout the year. Yeah. Everybody else is just standing around.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What's up, bro? If they double team Julius, right, or another team prepares to stop Julius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stills, I'm asking you this. Would another team prepare for Peyton? I just want to know because I saw this post about his mother and all this stuff. Like
Peyton, yes.
You can't compare Julius Randle to Peyton when Julius Randle is the most improved player and he averages steady amount of points. He averaged 37 points against Atlanta. Maybe Peyton was on the court. I'm not really sure because I don't want to really diss Peyton. But I know one thing. I know one thing. In the playoffs, it ain't no time for what he was doing, and you could see who he was replaced with and what his replacement did. Once you see what a replacement do, and you can't do that, then you were supposed to be removed.
But
then come on, and then come off the bench and still do it because we a team. And another point is he can't go out there and get 30 like D Rose could. Could he?
I mean, I'm not saying that he can go out there and do that, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, as a coach, you're supposed to make the adjustments as you see fit for the team. At the end of the day, Julius Randle had a horrible first 3 games. I don't care how much he had. He had double-doubles, but his numbers were terrible. If you look at his plus-minus in comparison to what Obi Toppin was, you would think that Tibbs would say, you know what, I need to find some more minutes for Obi Toppin. And the reason why I say that Obi Toppin should have been playing.
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, Z? The reason why I say Obi Toppin should have been playing more is because he's more versatile on offense than Julius Randle. He's more athletic than Julius Randle on offense. Nah, but he's showing that, though. If you look at it, when he's on the floor, he's productive. Look
Can
at
I ask you a question?
He had 13 points in 19 minutes. In 19 minutes, he had 13 points. Why? Because he doesn't need to have the ball to be effective. He's running the floor. He's finishing it. Huh?
Yo, bro. Let me tell you something.
I'm just saying, as a coach, you gotta make adjustments.
No. This is going to answer your question.
Let's
the
go.
Only reason Toppin shot is available is because of Julius. Listen, no,
man.
How are you gonna say, "Oh my God"?
Yo, Z. Hold on, Z. Flynn, D. Flynn.
I got one more question. Is he being double teamed? Is Julius Randle being double teamed?
He's being triple teamed at the time.
He's being triple teamed. That's great.
So how is that not making my shot easier?
What do you mean?
My man can't be on me and Julius.
But what I'm saying is that Obi Toppin is playing when Julius Randle is on the bench. So he's
not taking nothing against Obi. I'm just
telling you.
I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game. I see what Obi's doing.
Shout out to Z. What's up,
guys? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How's everything?
Oh, it's good, man. Good, man. The problem with
still the break. Y'all do your thing. I'm listening, bro. I'm hang up.
D. Flynn, we appreciate you, man. Thank you,
bro.
All right.
There's a few.
What's up, Z?
There's a few things that are wrong with the whole blaming Tibbs thing because Julius got us here. Without Julius, we're not even in the playoffs. And two, if it's execution as far as the players, it's not Tibbs' fault, and it's not really Julius' fault either. Because if you notice, you remember the Orlando game in the regular season when he was getting double teamed and triple teamed, and he had 17 assists because he was peppering the ball out to open shooters.
Yes.
He's been doing that all series. He's been passing to open shooters. If people make their shots at even
I just said that.
Yeah, right.
He said no. Z, he told me no.
That's why I'm defending you.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying
we got another caller.
I'm saying Z. He said no. Like
we got another caller.
The same game.
Bars and Who's Radio.
Z,
who's this?
Z, I don't understand.
Yeah, here you go. You got Super Dave in the building.
Oh, Dave, what's going on?
All right. Listen. Obi does not grab enough rebounds. So,
oh my God.
I mean, on the offensive flow.
Oh my God. Yo, Obi didn't play good enough this year for you to expect him to do that every game.
I'm listening, Dave.
I'm just saying. So, shout out to D Flair.
Yeah, shout out to D Flair.
Having my back. All right. So, I'm saying we got to try everything that's going to be positive to get us over the hump in Game 5.
And what would that?
What is that? What is that?
We got to attack the basket. We got to look for Randle to play in the low post.
Thank you.
We got to move.
Can I ask you something though? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Z.
With how are you?
I didn't even know.
How effective is it to attack the basket when Clint Capella's throwing everything away? When we're not making our open shots, we're not making our open shots, so we're not forcing Capella away from the basket. He's camping in the paint. Therefore, we're not going to be able to just drive on Capella and make those layups. I mean,
but see, this is what I'm saying. Why not add some more versatility to the lineup? Okay,
he tried.
No. How? With who?
Putting Derrick Rose in the lineup.
No. That was the worst thing that they could have did. Why?
No, it wasn't.
Everybody cried for that all year, and then they finally did it.
But it killed our bench production.
That's because Quickly and Burks are struggling. Nobody's making their open shots. That's why it's not the fault of taking Derrick Rose because Alec Burks has played emergency point guard and has played.
Negative. No, just a second, y'all.
Go ahead.
Derrick Rose feeds the second unit, so he makes things happen.
My, stop!
Now he's averaging 27 a game.
Hold on. Can I talk one time? Can I say something?
Y'all gonna make me extend this show another hour tonight.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We're angry.
I'm ready to come out.
You want to hang out for another hour, Z?
We need therapy, Playboy. I'm off work all week.
Yeah, we got to figure it out until we get this victory in Game 5.
Yo.
Then the show is on Wednesday.
Yo, listen. I asked Stills the Great if we take a 30-piece off the scoreboard, how much could Peyton give us? And he's still trying to fight for that. Bro, if you get replaced and you go to the bench and you know what we doing, then come off the bench. And Tibbs ain't even putting it in off the bench. So if he the coach and Tibbs is the guy that y'all always give his credit and say he this, he that. So now he ain't practice with this guy. Obviously his body language, he clapping over there like this with D Rose, and D Rose is out there killing. He's a hater, bro. His mom went online and started posting all that stuff. That's not good for the team, bro. Bro, he can't even come off the bench and help us still.
But that's another thing. So that was the cancer. We didn't have any of that cancerous behavior this whole season. That's why I said Tibbs making that move to replace Elfrid Payton in the starting lineup in the playoffs was the worst thing that you could have did to the team.
Stop saying that, yo. He's out here anyway. What you gonna say when they trade him?
Guys, are you sure we didn't have that toxic behavior all year? Or did they just keep it behind closed doors?
I don't think that it was toxic behavior the whole year.
I'm just saying, like, we don't know behind the scenes. No. You know what I mean?
I think it was genuine. I think they genuinely cared about each other. I think they genuinely cared for each other. You know what? And you know what? Z?
That's a good question, though, Z.
No. You want to know what? The toxic person that was on the team was removed, and it was Austin Rivers. It was Austin Rivers.
And DSJ.
And DSJ, exactly. So
he been going, but you're right.
Yeah, he been going, but that was like that's why he didn't last, because I thought that Austin Rivers was going to come here and actually be a great addition to the team. But he said all the right things in the press conference and everything. Like
it was his body.
He had that complications with his born child too.
Yes, it was a lot of that.
If I'm having problems with my kid that was just born, I wouldn't be thinking about basketball either. Straight up.
But look what he did in Denver, though. If we
now everything's good now.
If we would have kept him, he would have helped us right now.
Yeah.
He's killing in Denver.
But the thing I was trying to say was that, or like, Julius Randle would be averaging double-digit assists in this whole playoff run if dudes literally made like 65-70% of the. If they had to average almost 3/4 of the percentages they did all year, that's still not as good as they shot all year. You take about 25% be in the playoffs, tougher defense, all that. We'd be up 3-1 right now.
Yeah,
it's listen, as a coach, and Hardwell knows this as a coach as well. And Stills, I don't know if you coach.
He know enough.
He know enough to understand.
Okay, no, I was just I didn't want to disrespect him by saying
no. I know.
So as a coach, you can only draw up so much and make so many adjustments, especially when it comes playoff time.
Okay.
So like if it's a make or miss league, and if the players don't execute your game plan, there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
So if the players aren't making their shots, and that's not just Julius, that's Reggie, that's RJ, that's everybody.
Yeah.
They're not making their shots. There's nothing you can do.
All right, so let's bring it back. So y'all keep saying that.
Ride it out.
Obi, if we talk about
what if Derrick Rose wasn't making those floaters? What if Derrick Rose wasn't making those floaters?
Exactly.
Right?
But the reason is the reason Obi doesn't get any more minutes, and I love him to death. I love everybody on this team. It's that he doesn't play well enough defense, and you see that when he gets it. He does not play well enough defense.
Correct.
And when he gets his opportunities, it's because he's just jumping and athletic. When he has to put the ball on the floor and make a play, he can't.
Okay.
Julius at least can do that.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't. He won't. I'm just saying right now at the moment, so it's you can't give him 25 minutes and take minutes from Julius and expect to win in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to do a quick comparison, right? So let's do this for the sake of the playoffs. They're both playing meaningful playoff minutes. So let's go to game 1, right? Julius Randle in game 1 at Madison Square Garden against the Atlanta Hawks. Julius Randle shot 6 for 23. He had 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. In game 2 against Atlanta at Madison Square Garden. He had 15 points. He shot 5 for 16. He grabbed 12 rebounds, and he had 4 assists. In Game 3 in Atlanta, he shot 4. He scored 14 points. He shot 2 of 15 from the field. He grabbed 11 rebounds, and he dished out 2 assists. And in this last game, he had 23 points. He went 7 of 19 from the field. He grabbed 10 rebounds, and he dished out 7 assists. Now, y'all tell me those shooting percentages are horrible for 3 games. Y'all keep talking about people missing open shots. How about him missing a lot of shots?
He took a lot of
bad shots this season. No, but he took a lot of bad shots this season, and they was going in during the regular season. I was saying this throughout the year. He's making a lot of unbelievable shots. A lot of bad shots. They was going in, and it became a habit. So now in the playoffs, when the intensity is ramped up, you're gonna miss those shots because it's 2 or 3 people coming after you now.
I don't think it's all because, like, if you look at the shots, even if they're double and triple teamed, he's getting separation because he's so much bigger and stronger. So they're not as bad as shots as you think. He's getting separation. He's getting a clear look at the rim to get his shot off. The thing is, he is tight. It's his first playoff series. He's tight. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
I got a question.
I'm serious. Look. And Obi Toppin, if you gave him those same double and triple teams and gave him those same situations, he'd be 0 for 30. No, he's not ready yet.
Now I'm gonna say this now. Now I'm gonna hold on, Dave. I know you're waiting. So now, Obi Toppin in Game 1, 12 minutes. He scored 5 points, 2 or 3 shooting, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Game 2, 12 minutes. He scored 8 points, 2 or 4 from the field, 3 rebounds. In Game 3, 13 minutes. He scored 4 points, 2 or 4 from the field, 3 rebounds. In Game 4, he had 19 minutes. He scored 13 points, and he was 5 of 8 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. That's efficient numbers.
Yeah, the reason it's efficient if he's not getting double and triple teamed, then he doesn't have the load of the offense on him.
You want to know?
If you let Julius Randle play that role, he'd get buckets too.
No, that's the best question. My point. Hold on, but just understand my point. The point and the reason why I'm saying this is that he's moving without the ball. He's not a stationary target like Julius Randle. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hand to be effective. He moves without the ball. And this is what I'm saying. Tibbs is not putting Julius Randle in the proper position for him to take advantage of what the defense is doing to him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because the minutes is showing it. Y'all just saying Obi had a bad season, so he's not getting. He wouldn't be playing if he wasn't effective.
Yo, you know what?
He's not effective. I'm saying he would be effective in that role.
You know what he said with his coaching hat, and now I kind of understand why. Because it's like you questioning Tibbs, kind of like.
I am.
You know what?
He's getting
I don't understand why. Because
he's getting out coached.
Hold on, let me tell you.
They have more or less.
D, that's reaching. You know why? Because that's reaching.
I don't know.
Dave. I'm gonna let you go, Dave.
Between 4 and 6, we can straighten them out.
Nah, listen, man. I'm a diehard fan. I'm not wearing the orange and blue glasses, man, and that's not what I do, but I'm just calling it how I see it. Tibbs is getting out. Don't get me wrong. We had a great see, he's getting out coach, bro.
Bro, let me ask you a question. Bro, how can you put Toppin over Julius because he had a good game? Like, bro, let me. I just gave you 4 games. 4 games.
But that's loaded. That's like just using a plus and minus. It doesn't work just looking at the numbers.
I got it right here. Watch this. I got it right here. Stills, listen. When the whole team prepares their defense for you and it works, right?
Come on, man.
Stills, listen. Hear me out. Toppin is not on the scouting report, bro. He's not getting double teamed. That's why Son just said that. So for my coaching hat, right? Toppin is hitting those threes because his man don't think he can hit that. You know why? You know why? Let me finish. I let y'all talk. I listen. Now it's my time to explain everything y'all was saying because I didn't agree with nothing.
Okay.
He was never not none of it. I didn't mean to say it like that. What you was just saying, still. He never was making that shot before. right? And this is why even Julius, if you rewind the tape, when he started to even kill even more because he expanded his shot. When he started making threes, they wasn't guarding him there. And he he made the defense come out to him, and then he started getting a lot of buckets. This is why he got most improved player. Okay? Now, fast forward, now it's double teams, everything coming to him. It's a different ball game, bro. This is what I said when you said Barrett, I said, no, it's going to have to be other players who got a little more seasoning, like Burt got seasoning. Even my man who locked his son up, Bullocks, he got seasoning just because he been around a little longer is what I'm trying to say. So Toppin is going through what Barrett's going to go through. He didn't do enough in the regular season for me if I was a coach to put all my give him the ball.
He played
my problem is with you right now is you questioning Tibbs, and Tibbs know what he's doing. He's trusting the person that got him here, and just because it isn't working right now because his supporting cast like Atlanta has is not
in 4 games. It's not
he made adjustments though.
They lost the first game. They lost the first game at Madison Square Garden because he made no adjustments. He put Frank Ntilikina in the game to guard somebody that's been cooking the Knicks all night.
Okay, that was
because his mentality is still old school basketball. That's what they used to do back in the days. Oh, the defensive specialist. Defense is a team sport, bro. You don't bring somebody that hasn't played in 48 minutes and put him on the floor to guard somebody that's been cooking your team the whole time. Defense is a team concept.
That's not the reason we lost.
But do you take away his?
We lost because Trae Young hit the game-winning basket.
No, that's not how you
shot 31% from the field. That's why you lost the game.
When you lose by 2 points, when you lose by 2 points, you got to go look at the stats to see how many free throws we missed. You got to look at everything because that's a 2-point game, bro. You completely judging your team wrong when we lose by one basket. Bro, that was one bad defensive sub he made. I agree with you just now.
That was terrible. You don't do that with the game on the line.
Listen to me. Don't do that. Listen, we critiquing them wrong because we lost by 2 points, bro. A basketball. Listen, let me make my last point. A basketball can bounce either way. And I said this early on. We've been getting a lot of bounces because for years we wasn't. Don't believe in bounces. It's true. If you lose by 2 points, it's a matter of a call, a bounce, or a free throw. Bro, you can't blame it on only Tibbs putting in Frank Nikita, because then if he stops him, we don't say none of this. You know what I mean?
Hardwell.
All right.
Frank didn't fall on his butt.
He did.
But the thing is,
it was a bad move, Sills. I agree with you on it. It was a bad move.
But
the thing is, it's like you can't. You know what they say, Stills? They say you can never blame a game on the refs because if you executed your game plan, the refs wouldn't matter.
That's a fact.
So you can't blame the coach on one play or lose the game on one play because if your game plan worked and you executed it, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Let me tell you why he's right, Stills.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why Z's right.
All right.
Because I'm a coach, you a player. We lost by 2, right?
It's still a loss. It's still a record book, and that's still a game that we're down.
Sometimes when I talk, you got to hear my last point so you can fully understand. The point I was trying to make was, if you know we lose by 2, you can't blame the coach. Now, your point was correct. He made a horrible sub, so we can kind of blame the coach. But players have to take responsibility. Julius Randle missed mad shots. We missed mad free throws. We did this. We did that. Bro, if we didn't do all of that, we win by more than 10. So how you blaming Tibbs? No,
if this was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
See, now you keep it's like
you could use the same argument for what you said, Stills. If you didn't put Frank in,
exactly.
Yes. Yes.
But if we don't take Derrick Rose as the starter, we don't have.
Yeah, but I need to say
go ahead,
that maybe Julius.
You don't want to answer that.
The way he was last season. And he's forcing things.
Yes, he reverted back to his play from last season. Everything that he did last season, he's doing during this playoff series and this run right now. Julius,
he ain't spinning the ball and turning the ball over off a spin. He ain't doing.
He got triple team now.
He's dribbling.
And he's forcing the action.
Yes,
look
and
back, hold on. Look back
into the double and triple teams.
Look back to a different team, and Hard will know where I'm going with this.
Uh-huh.
When Shaq left Kobe and Kobe couldn't get out the first round, it was because Kobe was getting double and triple teamed, and he didn't have players that would make up for that.
That was a good one.
They weren't a complete team. You have to listen. The Atlanta. I love the show, and I'm so pissed off. I haven't, pardon my French, but I'm so mad I haven't been able to come on because I normally work Monday nights. But they are the more complete team when it comes to their ball. Hardwell, you see their ball movement. You see the way they play or move, ball move, all that. Our guys aren't talented enough. We don't have guys. We still move the ball. We don't make shots.
41 games this season.
And you said we can't move the ball?
Don't matter.
You keep bringing up the season.
We win off of heart. We went off of grit and heart. And if you look, in this modern NBA, you can only go so far with grit and heart.
Yo, Z, I like you, man. I like you, Z. But let's keep it a buck. This is the same basketball team that we had last season. We just added a couple of rookies.
We had a couple of huge pieces. Burks, Noel.
Nah, that's not the same team.
Burks was there last year. Noel
he wasn't. Burks came this year.
Last year. Yes,
Burks
he was.
Came this year.
He was there.
Pardon me. Okay, Burks.
Okay, Rose.
Exactly. But the core of the team with I was
people that doing all the work.
Huh? This is basically the same roster as last year.
Let me ask this. If Noel didn't come and it was the same roster, would we have treaded water while Mitch was hurt?
Would we have treaded water while Mitch was hurt?
Without Noel?
Yes.
No.
Yes. We would.
But we are though. I mean,
no. Yo, hold on. Noel blocked all them shots against Boston.
You feel what I'm saying?
You're right, G. Noel blocked all them shots against Boston. We needed that win.
He was a warrior, man.
Yes.
He's a warrior.
But let's not stray too far though. I'm just saying.
Okay.
No. I'm just saying that Tibbs is being severely outcoached.
How?
Because
wow.
You gave Tibbs?
Because he's down 3-1.
Exactly.
No, it's bigger than
and he made no adjustments. He made no real
It's bigger than that. Nate McMillan.
Example.
Nate McMillan. Hold on. Let's keep something in context for a second. Nate McMillan's been fired from multiple jobs because he couldn't get out of the first round. He hasn't won a playoff game in 2 years. The reason he is better, if you gave Tibbs Atlanta's roster,
I've got this answer.
He would absolutely destroy this Knicks team.
Yes, he would. Yo, Z, hold on, Z, not to cut you, Z.
Because we have 7 guys double figures. 7. How many do we have?
Yo, Z, so y'all really going to sit up
Can I ride this wave, Z?
Go ahead.
Listen, if we had Trae Young, and I don't want to dream because we don't need him. You get what I mean? Stills is talking about Peyton, right? I don't know why. You know why? Because
go ahead. Finish.
If Derrick Rose could come in and give us 30 points, and we take those 30 points off before that, he had 20 points and everything he's doing, and we take that away, Payne cannot fill that void. Another good point is this. Yo, bro, at the end of the day, you could just see it's not about a coach. It's Trae Young is a threat. No, listen, Trae Young can shoot from the logo, and he once you come out there, he could go by you. So how you getting mad at our coach? Nobody can stop him. Oh, he's supposed to put 3 people on here. Hold on, listen, this is my main point. I said y'all got to hear my ending so y'all can really vibe with me.
Yeah. Right?
So what Nate McMillan, and he's not that great of a coach. It's just easier for him, like Z said. Let me tell you why. This the point. When Trae Young kicks it out, guess what? Gallinari's making that 3. Bogdanovich, he wasn't shooting.
Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter's making that 3. All of those guys are making those shots.
Z, we don't see you, Z.
I'm sorry, I went outside. I had to take some trash.
Okay.
No problem. We hear you, though. So listen, this is the main point I'm making. Bro. You can't go at Tibbs like that when we don't have the same pieces. Trae Young, they comparing him to Curry and all of that. And you talking about Peyton. That's a whole different. That's like shrimp and Chinese food. That's like Benihana's against Chinese food. Come on.
Hardwell, we agree because we understand it. But the thing is, it's bottom line. I have a question for Stills and the caller and everybody in the chat. If we make our shots like we normally do, are we up in this series or are we in the same position?
We up.
So therefore, Tibbs is putting in a game plan that makes his team successful, and they're not executing.
Yeah, they're not executing.
It's like in football. Hold on, it's like in football, right? If you have coaches get fired all the time because of bad quarterback play. If a quarterback goes out there and throws 5 interceptions, is it the coach's fault? Or is it the quarterback turning the ball over?
Exactly. If the coach doesn't make adjustments,
what can you do? What
Stills, you wrong about that. Stills, you wrong about that. Stills, you wrong. You know why, Stills? Because you expect him to replace Toppin with Julius Randle, and Toppin wasn't even. He's just coming out of his shell. See. Hold on. Tibbs just has more experience than we do. So we just talk about our opinions, but Tibbs knows that he has to stick with Julius, and this is why we're gonna go to 7 games. And I think we're going to win the series.
We're going to go 7 games. We're going to win the series.
Julius going to wake up. Julius going to wake up.
And you notice, I mean, he did wake up a little bit in the last game for stretches.
Yo, man. Yeah. Do I have to?
Look, if we make those shots, if we make those shots, Tibbs can't make any adjustments. He can't go out there, grab the basketball, and put it in the hoop. He can't do that.
I got a question for Stills. Stills, how many free throws did we miss last game? And how many shots did our supporting cast miss off of passes from Julius Randle alone? And then you tell me if we would be in the game.
Let me answer you. They missed all of them. All of the open shots from Julius.
I don't believe.
I want to hear Stills.
Don't get me wrong. I know that we don't have consistent shot makers. I'm not saying that we have.
You said they didn't make none of them still.
But it's okay. They haven't. All season long, the Knicks shot 39% from three-point range. During the series, they're shooting 34%. They dropped 5%. The fact of the matter is that they're not changing their game plan up. Atlanta came in with a clear objective. Shut Julius Randle down and let the other guys beat us. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we?
We don't have a guy that can guard Trae Young.
So your solution.
The number one ranked. Hold on, real quick. The number one ranked defense is so flawed because half of the season to 3/4 of the season we gave up open 3-pointers to good shooters and they missed.
But we won 41 games with the same roster that y'all are saying is not good.
Exactly, and the same roster is not executing, meaning they're not good enough because they're not executing still.
Yeah, Stills, you talking about, Stills is saying replace Randle with Toppin and replace Rose.
And I love you saying that, but that's laughable.
I'm not saying replace Randle in the starting lineup. What I'm saying is Obi Toppin more minutes because statistically showing that he's effective.
Still, he didn't give him more minutes. Now he's just talking about
he gave him 19 minutes. He gave him 19 minutes, and Obi Toppin had 13 points.
How many points did we lose by?
How many
points did he give up?
Exactly. How many points did we give up?
How many points did he give up?
He
not a great defender.
He said Obi. He said Obi.
Oh,
I know.
Hold on. You know he's taking him out for some reason.
He's going to be one of our better players next year. Guarantee you. I guarantee you that. He's going to be one of our better players next year.
Obi Toppin will be a much better player next year, but he is an awful defender at right now.
And I'm not saying that because I used to play with his pops. And he's from New York. But he's going to be one of our better players next year.
No doubt.
You know what he needs to add? No.
The reason I'm saying that is Hardwell. Julius Randle is also the number 1 ranked power forward in all defensive analytics. So you can't replace the number 1 defensive. That's better than Giannis. That's better defensively by the defensive analytics. You can't replace him with Obi Toppin.
ZB having his numbers down.
You can't replace that with Obi Toppin yet. I'm not saying Obi's not going to be a great defender in years to come.
I'm just telling y'all. I'm just giving y'all the numbers.
I agree with you, Z.
Right now.
No, I know you're giving numbers, but the thing is, imagine this in an alternate universe. You give him 25 minutes in game 5, right? That means Julius is going to be off the floor, which means Obi's going to have to do what Julius Randle does to get us to win games. And
the Knicks,
I got a good question.
The Knicks has played better without Julius on the floor in some spurts, in some stretches during the series. That's a fact. He played
because there's no double.
Derrick Rose. He played great with Derrick Rose. You want to know why he plays great with Derrick Rose? Because he moves without the ball. He doesn't need the ball in his hand to be effective.
Julius set screens. Julius pick and pop, pick and roll.
Julius also holds the ball too damn long. And
who else makes the play? And you notice now that
he's not a playmaker. That's the problem. He's not a facilitator. No, he's not a
playmaker. A game, man.
All right.
What player ever didn't do anything all season and came in the playoffs and took over? What player ever? None.
I'm not saying that he's gonna come in and take over. What I'm saying is that
Stills, you can't say he ain't getting minutes. Tim's giving him minutes.
See, I play chess, man. I play chess, and in chess, you gotta adjust to what your opponent is doing. And Tibbs isn't doing that.
But that's not also don't forget that Tibbs don't even run the offense. Johnny Bryant does. He gave the offense to Johnny Bryant.
Well, that's
not even Tibbs' fault.
So that's even worse because Johnny Bryant is getting taken to school.
And Tibbs is a defensive person. If he's a defensive person and they rank 3 or 4 in the league, he should be giving up less than 100 points.
Shout out to Knicks fan. Yes, that was our opening show. We did have Obi's dad on the show.
Don't get me wrong. I love Obi Toppin. And I can't, obviously, I'm sitting on the couch talking to you guys, so I'm nowhere near the basketball player any of these people are, right? But what I'm saying is, Julius Randle, and I'm not saying Obi can't be better than Julius Randle in 3 to 5 years.
Nah.
But right now, Julius Randle gives us our best chance to win basketball games. And along with the rest of the players, because you've seen what happened when they put in Knox and Frank and all those guys last game, they were playing worse. That's why they don't play over our guys, because we have better players.
Exactly. Like, we not playing.
Do me a favor. Hold on. Do me a favor. Let's run out Jared Harper, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, and Taj, and let's see the starting lineup.
Why are you asking for that shit?
No, we can't do that.
See what happens.
That was extreme. See, that wasn't fair. That's extreme.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You asking for these guys.
All I'm saying is this, man. When you add somebody to the wrinkle that, like you said, they're not game planning for Obi, right? So if they're not game planning for Obi, and he's proven to be effective in this series, why not add him to the mix? Why not?
He doesn't play good enough defense. You saw last game. They put Julius at the 5, and they put Obi at the 4. And look how much we got cooked on defense.
So Derrick Rose is playing great defense as well, right?
No, he's not.
He's not, right? He's scoring points, but Trae Young is scoring more points, right? So what sense does it make to keep Derrick Rose on the floor?
Because that's the only guy with metal experience.
Man, because he's scoring 30 and we still getting smacked by 30. So
exactly. And why are we still getting smacked by 30? Because other guys aren't making their shots.
That's a fact,
man. All I'm saying is this, man.
Because Trae Young plays zero defense too, but his players are making shots.
And why aren't we making them pay? Why aren't we putting him in foul trouble?
We should be making him work.
Exactly. Why
Reggie Bullock is not a guy to take people off the dribble or to get people in.
That's what I wanted to say.
That's how disrespectful Atlanta. Hold on, Paul, real quick.
All right.
This is what I'm saying. Nate McMillan was so disrespectful to Tom Thibodeau and Johnny Bryant's offense is that they put Trae Young on Reggie Bullock. And Reggie Bullock couldn't take advantage of having Trae Young on him by taking him into the
you know what Reggie Bullock
clearly shows you. Nate McMillan knows what he's doing. He's out coaching Tibbs.
It's lack of talent. Let me tell you what Reggie Bullock's signature move is. Catch the ball and shoot it. His best dribble is one dribble to pump fake to get someone off
he's a 3-and-D guy. He's a 3-and-D guy. Yes,
he's not a ball handler.
All right, let me talk.
3-and-D guy.
Bullock gets most of his shots from Randle. If you watching the game.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Okay.
But Randle don't facilitate.
And Randle don't facilitate. Okay, I got one point. Let me finish my point. I love Obi Toppin. Shout out to his dad. They came on the show. We love those guys. That's still friend, right? Now, I know the game. I want to take it more in depth.
Now you're making it seem like I'm being biased. That's my that's what we doing now? Dave, you hear this?
Oh, God. I hear it.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
We got to work together, y'all. Let's work together. Let's work.
Yeah, listen. Hold on. Let me finish. My man, Knicks man, asked that we have Obi.
Get this victory for Game 5.
Let's go. What are we doing to get this victory for Game 5? We got 15 minutes left.
Hold on. I want to make one last point before we change the subject. My last point was this. Obi Toppin needs to get better off the dribble. If I gotta keep giving him Stills, why you shaking your head? I watched the game, bro. He's not creating his own shot, bro. He's getting a 3 off of somebody passing him the ball in the corner. He's getting an alley-oop, bro.
He's not supposed to.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
He's playing his role. He's just like Amari Stoudemire.
I don't want to say he's better than Zion. Is he creating this?
But he ain't even close to Amari Stoudemire, man.
He's a pick and roll guy.
Okay, but Amari Stoudemire can do everything. He was a career
solidified already, bro. How can you do that?
Amari's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, bro. I got a lot of work to do.
25 a game?
How can you do that, bro?
Yeah. All right.
Was getting 20, 10, and 5.
All right, check it out, y'all.
I didn't finish my point, though. Last thing I wanted to say was this.
Game 5 victory for New York.
I'm going to tell you right now, listen. Texas is doing a great job. Even though we're losing, the team is not making the shots, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Hey, y'all need to pay attention to this chat, because they going in the chat right now. I can't even read everything. But everybody
call in then. I don't care about the
shout out to Robert Paul. He feels my pain, man.
Robert Paul is my guy.
Shout out to Knicks man. Yo, they feel what I'm saying. The grain.
Hold on. This is the last thing I wanted to ask you.
Let's go.
Obi Toppin created a shot like Zion or I can think of much more players. Hunter's hurt, and he's doing way better. Hunter was just hurt. You know that, right? I know all these players from college. I know these players. Obi Toppin,
All-American player of the year. Yes.
Listen, let me tell you what my point of view. This is my point of view on him. Yes. This is my point of view on him, right? He's finally saying he can hit the 3. With Randall's hitting the 3, it's inspiring for Biggs to hit the 3 now. I never really seen him hit the 3. He's excited, just like his father with the dunks, all that stuff. Cool. I love it. But if he adds the 3 into his game, and he's from New York, he should learn how to hit you and go off you off the dribble. Yeah. If he get that in his game, then I'm all for OB. I wouldn't want them to trade OB, but I did see his name brought up in the trade with OB and Knox and 2 draft picks for Sexton. And I would love to have Sexton on my team.
Y'all crazy if you want Sexton.
Sexton had 50 on college.
You hear this?
Sexton in the
I hear it.
I bet you if we had Sexton and Derrick Rose coming off the bench, it would be fine.
We'll have another guy that can't shoot.
Do you have any idea what Colin Sexton did to Trae Young?
I know. Colin Sexton is a beast.
He did that. He got the best of him in one game in college. Yes, he did.
Not only one game.
AAU
not only one game. Not only one game.
Colin Sexton is not a winning basketball player. He's not. He's not a winning basketball player.
Huh? They said the same thing about Trae Young.
You see the difference, because look at Cleveland and look at the Atlanta Hawks.
They said the same thing about Julius Randle not be a winning player.
Colin Sexton is not a winning basketball player, man. He's not.
I would take Luka any day.
Knicks man said that he wants Fox. But we got 10 minutes.
This is what would solve all our problems.
Let's go.
Jonathan Isaac at the 3, Lonzo Ball at the point.
I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good.
Jonathan Isaac, 6'11". He can shoot like Reggie Bullock, and he can go off the dribble, and he's a project on offense, but he can defend 1 through 5. He's 21 years old, and he's going to be the best defender in 5 years.
Florida State, right?
But he's
I believe
he's coming off a major injury.
ACL. I mean, it's not as major as it used to be, but that's why you get him.
We can't keep doing that, man. He's coming off a major injury.
He'll be fine.
I don't know, man.
And Lonzo would be the perfect point guard to play with this team. Good defender.
I like Lonzo.
Big.
I do like Lonzo.
He can rebound. He can pass the ball, and he's shooting 39% off of 8 attempts a game. So he's a shooter that would help upgrade.
Sexton to play good under 10.
Sexton too.
We got 9 minutes, y'all.
What are we going to do for next season?
What are we doing? Nah, they talking about next season.
Game 5?
That's what I'm talking about. I want to know what we need to do to win in 7.
Make our shots.
Yeah, Barrett gotta wake up. Randall gotta wake up. If Randall keep forcing shots, he gotta make them or pass the ball. They got to put him in a better position, like you said, Steels. I agree with that. Put Randall in a better position to score.
He has to. That's the only way we're going to
win. Not Trey Young on his ass.
The thing we have to do and absolutely have to do is get Julius Randle in more pick. Like he's really successful when we do a pick and roll or pick and pop situation with him. Get him some easy shots right out of the gate. Like you notice, we try to get RJ Barrett easy shots right away. Get him in a rhythm. We need to do that same thing, but with Julius. However you try it, get him an easy dunk, get him a layup, get him to the free throw line early. Let him see the ball go in. Let him see the ball go in the hoop. Let him start making shots and take the pressure off of him. We need Tibbs to sit this team down, almost like Pop did in the finals when they were down 2-0. He had a team dinner. He had something. Get some chemistry. Relax people. They need to get relaxed. They need to play freely, read and react, make their shots. We have nothing to lose, man. There's no more like
look, I got a good point.
Julius needs to shake and get all upset.
I got a good point. We got 2 players on our team that got experience, and they playing the best on our team. That's Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose.
And Noel. Don't forget Noel.
And Noel. We're going to get credit from the new players because they got experience like that. But the main point is this. I believe in Tibbs because Tibbs has more experience and he know what he's doing. So he's going this way is for a reason. He see more than we see. We on the outside looking in. Tibbs see what we really don't see. And that's why he's believing in Julius, because this is what got us here. And if Julius wake up in the right time, we can win the series. That's why he keep giving them the opportunity, because it doesn't make sense for this kid to play bad every single game.
And we need Julius to pull his braids. He need to get that pro going.
Can't wait for game 8.
Psychology.
Now, if we win or lose, I'm still happy with what we did and accomplished, and we still need another option for scoring to really complete us, because we're not expecting to win a championship this year. No. Let's talk realistically. So let's add pieces to complete us and make us the team we need to be. Some of these players is getting shipped out.
That's off-season talk, man. We need to play the young guys more. We need to play quickly more.
That's a fact.
At the end of the day, he's a shot maker and he can shoot. He's one of the better shooters on the team. Now, and Alec Burks needs to play better. He played that great game in game 2, but he hasn't done anything since.
You know why? You know why, Sales? Julius Randle is taking way too many shots.
Exactly.
He keeps shooting.
That's my point. He's playing to the defense. He's backing in the double and triple teams.
That I agree with.
Julius Randle in that Orlando Magic game where he had 17 assists. I'm not saying get 17 assists a game. I'm saying if the shot ain't there, as soon as double come, kick it.
That's a fact.
Kick it.
That's the Orlando Magic, man.
No. I'm saying he needs to play that style, Stills.
But he played against the Orlando Magic, man.
Yeah, but it's the same basketball.
I get that.
It's the same basketball.
But that's the Orlando Magic, man.
What he did was, as soon as the double came,
Still, I'm peeling off. Let's go, Nick. Game 5.
Yes, sir. All right.
Stills, this is what you got to understand before we go. A double team is a double team. I think that's what Z trying to say. If he just passed the ball, he said this too. All supporting cast has to do is make the shot. Because look, if I'm being double teamed and I pass the ball and you don't make the shot, I did my job, bro. It's 2 men on me.
Somebody's open.
Now, what I could blame Tibbs for, if he don't put the right people on the floor, then I can start blaming Tibbs. But he tends to do that well. Quickly have him making his shot, so don't put him in. Go with who's hot. Burks ain't even making his shots, so it don't really matter. We got to just play who been making his shots. Not about who's not making his shots right now, because nobody's making his shots.
I just think that move of adding Derrick Rose to the starting lineup destroyed our bench productivity. And this is why guys like Quickly is struggling. And this is why we're not getting any points off of the bench and why he has to play Derrick Rose 40 minutes a game at 30-something years old. Like, I just think that was a bad.
Thing is, he was still playing 36 minutes off the bench. He was still playing 36 minutes off the bench. So he's still playing big minutes. So he was still getting points regardless. The thing is, if we don't make our shots, and it sounds redundant still. It sounds redundant, but if you don't make shots, you don't win basketball games.
And if we take out Rose, we get smacked by 50 if we take away his 30 because Peyton is only giving us 8.
8? What?
Maybe. I'm saying maybe. I'm just giving him 8. I'm giving him anything. He's not giving us 30. So how can I worry about, and if he can't come off the bench for me and give me the same production, what is he on my team for?
And plus, he wasn't playing good defense against Young. So that's his thing. If you're going to put him out there for defense and he's not playing defense, bye.
I think Stills know him too, maybe. I don't know.
I like Peyton. I really he's not right for this team. He's not the right fit because we don't have knockdown shooters.
Honest,
if we had knockdown shooters, Peyton would be a better point guard for this team.
Peyton would be great on the Hawks. And he would run that team great. They don't need him. Like Trae Young is just a bonus because he can hit the 3 and still dish. So Trae Young is great on the Hawks. Don't get me wrong, but Peyton don't fit with the Knicks because we don't have a good enough shooting team. And he can't create his own shot.
He helped us win 41 games.
Yeah, I said he's a good player. I didn't say he was bad.
Did he average more than Derrick Rose did?
But why change something that's not broken? Why?
Because we were 25 and 28 we were 4 or 5 games under 500 when Derrick Rose came, and now we're 10 games over 500. We're literally 20. Okay. We're 23 and 8 with Derrick Rose.
But Z, when he came in the bench capacity. He didn't
come as a
starter.
No. You got to go on the stat. 23 and 8 is a stat. You can't talk about where he come in at don't matter. Look. As a coach, and I see that stat, I'm making him a starter, bro.
Oh my God.
That was the thing. Even Tibbs even said when he was traded, if you go back and look at the quote, he said he's going to come off the bench initially.
Yeah, man.
He didn't. The only reason he did not play Rose as a starter was because he did not trust Rose's legs. When he saw that Rose could hold up, then he put him in the starting lineup.
Oh my God!
I don't understand what you have against D Rose.
I don't have anything against. I don't have anything against D Rose. What I do have against Tibbs is him messing with the chemistry now. You should have did that before the playoffs started. Because what it did now is it caused tension in the locker room. You got Elfrid Payton's mom liking tweets from Atlanta fans, clowning the Knicks and happy when the Knicks lose because they pull. Now you got a bunch of drama surrounding the team at the worst part of the season to have.
He's not going to be on our team.
Elfrid Payton's mom.
But we had a real opportunity to win this game, and we're going to win the series in 7.
We ain't winning this series.
Come on, yo, Z. You can't be talking like that on here, man. We winning in 7, man. Until we go down with the ship around here, Z. We go down with the ship, Z. I want you to come back every week, Z.
Yo, listen.
7.
I love this team. If we don't make shots, we're not winning the series.
But we gotta make shots. We're gonna make shots.
But yeah, I was gonna say, don't underestimate. Do not, and I'm saying this again. Do not underestimate a team and a player with nothing to lose.
Yeah, I'm not.
George Randall comes out. The pressure's off of him now. Everybody thinks we're losing. So watch what he does Wednesday night. Watch what he does.
And not only that, let me make one last point to you, Stills. Just one last point to you.
We got 48 seconds.
Last point to you.
Let's go.
You want him to make changes in a fashion for players who are making drastic changes in the playoffs, and they haven't been doing it. That means they don't have experience doing it. And what Tibbs is doing is he's sticking with a coach's mentality of going what got him there. And Peyton did help get us there, but he wasn't producing. And if he can't produce coming off the bench, he's not really worth keep putting him out there without defense or scoring production.
Well,
so even if you're not giving defense or scoring, I gotta keep you on the bench. And this he didn't get no minutes.
Yeah, we gotta.
I'm not a better coach than Tibbs. I'm sorry.
Yo, man, I love the conversation tonight, man. Because I don't want to go overboard on the station now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. We out.
We for video's sake, we still good. But I had to cut off the radio station part. But we good now. But I'm just saying, man, And shout out to Robert Parr, man. Shout out to the guys over at For the Love of the Game. I appreciate you guys, man. But in all honesty, man, I'm telling you, man, just look beyond the numbers with Julius Randle, man. Look at Obi Toppin, man. You got to look at what these guys are doing. He's becoming a better player before your eyes, and you're not even paying attention to it. You're not paying attention to it.
What rookie becoming a much better player doing that? What rookies in the playoffs averaging 15 points? I'll just pick 15 points. None.
Nah, but you got to look at the fact that at the end of the day, he's adapted and he's playing, man.
Am I wrong, Z?
No, you're not wrong. He is playing better, but he's not ready.
He's not ready, bro.
Okay.
Because if you put him out there, for example, and let's say just for Hard Will's question, let's say he averages 15 points a game in 30 minutes, you got to look how much points he's giving up. He probably give up 25. He can't defend right now, man. He's a project.
He is.
He will be a beast. Make no mistake about this. There's no disrespect. He will be a stud.
If they don't put him in the package, and Peyton's going in the package for sure. I don't want Obi in the package because I love Obi Toppin. But Peyton's in a package for sure.
Peyton's not going to be re-signed. He's done.
He's not. He's done. After his mother did that, he's done, bro.
I can't wait to the season. Well, I ain't gonna say I can't wait till the season's over because we go on to 7 and we gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, we got to do this a little bit more often, man, for real.
And look,
remember this though. Remember the chemistry.
We're going to Vegas to the summer league too.
The chemistry all year, if you notice, and Hector, my co-host For the Love of the Game, one of the great 4 co-hosts, he had brought this to my attention, and I'm going to bring this to your guys' attention.
Okay.
Elfrid Payton was Alonzo Trier's best friend. They were huge friends. And if you remember when Elfrid Payton came, him and Julius were best friends. But the thing is, Alonzo was going at RJ, Julius, everybody in practice last year clowning him. He was a cancer. So they released Alonzo Trier. Ever since then, Elfrid has had a vendetta against RJ and Julius. They don't talk, if you notice that. They don't high five unless it's a quick dap and go. They don't have that chemistry that the rest of the team does. There's been chemistry problems between Elfrid and RJ all season.
Oh, my God.
Between Elfrid and you can look at my channel. I'm a huge Elfrid Payton supporter. But the thing is,
delete that content.
He's not. He is just not fit for this team. He needs to go.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And guess what? When he do go, you ain't going to see him nowhere. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
If he do, he'll be off the bench somewhere where he belongs. Is off the bench.
Yo, man.
You think he's a starter on the New York Knicks right now in the playoffs?
He's the starter for a tank driving team. He drives the tank.
He helped us win 41 games, bro.
Yeah, so did Julius, so did RJ, so did
Derek, exactly.
So
that's my whole point. It was a team effort. And
I agree with that.
To stray away from team because now you grasping at straws and getting desperate in the playoffs is the thing that I got.
You just said yourself, Stills, we got to make changes and adjustments.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. You wanted to do it for Toppin, but not.
No. But that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do one, if you're gonna do one for one, do it for the other. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning the game, right? If Julius Randle is struggling and his plus minus is through the roof on a negative side,
I see what you're saying.
Sit him. That's what I'm saying.
But plus minus is a loaded stat. Like literally, there's a guy.
I get it.
Literally, for example, like Zaza Pachulia could have a plus 30 on those 2017, 2018 Golden State Warriors teams, and LeBron James could have a minus 20 because they lost by 20. But who's the better player?
Yeah, coaches go by what got them there.
Yeah,
and if a player starts to get better, no, coaches in general.
Old school.
Still.
No.
Hold on, Z. You can't tell me what rookie is averaging 15 right now. That proves my point, bottom line.
Yeah, we're not talking about.
No. This is my point. You saying that Tip should play him, and I'm trying to ask you what other rookie is doing that. That proves that no other coach is playing no rookie in that position, bro, because he don't have enough experience.
You do know.
My last point is this. If I do give him more minutes as this great coach that I am, it's because I see what he's doing for my team. But I'm going to put Julius Randle back in because he got us here and his shot's supposed to come back on.
We just said that the team got us here.
who's lighting it up in the playoffs
How
for
would you say,
Chicago. Michael Jordan has a bad game, and let's play Steve Kerr more.
We just said that the team got us here. Y'all keep saying Julius got us here.
If it wasn't for Julius, we would have had maybe 13 wins.
No, well,
if you take away his points, if you take away what Julius did, we're not there.
If those same teammates didn't hit those shots all season that you said that Julius passed the ball to those guys and he knocked down.
It wasn't the same, still.
No, it would have been the same because his numbers wouldn't be where they were, and then why we give him an MVP.
That's like saying if it was a slip again,
if those guys weren't making the shots, we might win 25 games. If we don't have Julius Randle, we're not.
And then he wouldn't be most improved player.
No,
and
this is the answer to his question.
Even Tibbs said it. He is our engine that drives the team.
Yes.
So without the engine, does the car go any farther?
No car.
Without that engine in Mustang, you ain't going nowhere, man.
You're gonna live and die with him. You live and die with him.
This is why he did so good.
He's killing us.
He extended his game and he hit the 3-ball better as the season went on, which made the defense come out. Now, this is what made us win so many games.
Threes this season than he shot in any season.
What's the difference between playoffs and regular season? They plan to double team him in the playoffs, and that's what he isn't used to. He never been the number one option on a basketball team. He never been in the playoffs and been the main person on the team. So this is a learning experience for him as well. I think next year he's going to be a lot better. And this is what we have to look at because we didn't even expect to be where we are now. I just want to touch that point again too. Yeah. But the main point is this. He never faces many double teams, and he was able to take his man because he's a lefty. So is Barrett. Barrett is they did him very well too. They playing him to the left. They have a scheme. That's what I want to give Nate McMillan more credit for, having a good defensive scheme for us. He's stopping Randall. He's stopping Barrett. That's hurting us. Besides everything else, it's the players not making the shots. That's my point.
And look, for example, look at Milwaukee stills. Giannis, he was considered this playoff choker. He was horrible. He had to learn how the wall of Giannis and the box and one defenses. He had to learn how to counteract.
And then he swept the Heat.
Now look what he's doing.
People that beat him. He swept the people that beat him, and that's improvement. And Julius never been here. I would just give him a chance.
And Chris, back in the day, the choke series, Middleton was not hitting his open shots. Neither was DiVincenzo. Neither was any of these guys. Now all the role players are hitting their open shots. Now you see how deadly Milwaukee is. We need to get to the point where we're hitting our open shots. We hit our open shots. Julius going to have 5 points and 20 assists. I don't care. As long as we're hitting our open shots, we're going to win basketball games.
And another point on Gerard was saying, if these guys were players that wasn't as young as our players are, I would be harder. Hold on, listen. I would be harder on these players. But I said before this podcast, 3 podcasts ago, that even if we don't make it, even if we don't beat the Hawks, I'm still proud of my team because Barrett is still young. Toppin is still young. Julius isn't young, but this is his first time. He's young in the playoffs. He hasn't had this experience.
He's still young. He hasn't even hit his prime yet.
Yeah, and the last point is this. If we gave him 8 years and we got the Julius, 8 years it took him to do it. So now we're ridiculing players who only been in the league for a couple of years. It doesn't make sense, right?
All I'm simply saying is that from the start is that Tom Thibodeau is being outcoached, man.
No,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
What the adjustment is? Stills. When they start double teaming Julius and getting him out of his rhythm, Tom's adjustment, and you can hear him in timeouts, and what he says is, pass to your open shooters. If it's open, shoot the ball. And that's exactly what they've been doing, but they've been missing shots.
That's an easy answer.
Yes.
How
about move him around?
They moved it from the left wing to the right wing to the
Stills.
He's only going left. And he's only going left. Yes.
The only thing Tibbs could be doing wrong, only thing Tibbs could be doing wrong is not putting the right people on the floor when Julius passed the ball. So that's what I could blame him for. But once I'm coaching and my star players being double, I'm telling him just to make the right read. That's it. That makes it easier for me to win the game. If he's not making that shot, I'm like he got to come out and then somebody got to go and make the shot. So
you said it earlier.
Exactly. My point on what I'm saying right now is like what Z said. Those guys are still so young, and why he brought up Milwaukee because those guys made those mistakes and came back and had a chance to understand it. Just because Julius has so much time in the league, we just being so hard on him. He's never been in the playoffs. We got to look at who's the guys that he's passing the ball to out of the double team. Bullock, he's never been in the playoffs. We never seen him on this stage. Keep it real. Barrett's never been on this stage. So I agree, and I just feel that we have to fall back on being so hard on them because if they never been there, how they gonna know? And the last point before I stop is it's no other rookie that is averaging 15 points in the playoffs right now. So how do we expect Toppin to just do that every game or 20 points every game? It's not happening nowhere.
Stills, you said yourself that Atlanta is forcing other players to beat us, not named Julius Randle. So therefore, if they are forcing it to happen, the only thing you can do as a New York Knick and a coach is, okay, well, the others got to beat them. We have, you got to believe in your supporting cast. They have to win these games.
Yeah,
our supporting cast is not as good as their supporting cast.
So why hasn't Pitt done that with Trae Young then?
He can't. Who do we got that'll start? You think Julius is going to guard him?
It's a team effort. They're bringing 2 and 3 guys at Julius Randle. Why they can't do that to Trae?
Because if we do it today, Kevin Huerter's a knockdown shooter. DeAndre Hunter's a knockdown shooter. Collins is a knockdown shooter. Gallinari's a knockdown shooter. How many guys do the same thing?
Yeah, they can't do the same thing.
Let them beat the Knicks then.
And then guess what? They tried that by trapping him in a few different times, and it was a wide open three.
Go look at the stats. Gallinari got a lot of points. All the supporting cast got a lot of points. Don't say let them beat the Knicks. Did they trap Trae Young last game? Like 7 times, and all 7 times it was a wide open three.
So game 1 in 35 minutes, Trae Young had 32 points. He shot 11 of 23. He grabbed 7 rebounds and had 10 assists. In game 2, he played 35 minutes. He scored 30 points. He went 11 of 20 from the field, 1 rebound, 7 assists. Game 3, he had 21 points. He shot 8 for 19. He grabbed 1 rebound, and he had 14 assists. In game 4, 33 minutes, he had 27 points. He shot 9 of 21, 1 rebound, and 9 assists.
And you know the
Make
difference?
somebody else beat you.
But the thing is, Stills.
Make somebody else beat you.
Stills, the one game we did win was that you notice his assists were down from that game. They did not let him pass the ball. They trapped him. Every other game when they trap Trae Young, when they double team him, he gets the ball out quickly to somebody that's a great knockdown shooter, and they make the shot.
That's what I'm saying. When you do
that 5 to 7 times and it doesn't work, you can't do it the whole game because it doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, this ain't algebra, bro. It's simple.
Not algebra.
No, listen to my point for saying it like that. This is my point for saying it like that. Bro, he has 4 shooters that's knocking down threes. It's not my opinion on these players on the Hawks. It's proven how they shooting. But before they shot like that, I know they could shoot like that. You get what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't compare Barrett's shot to Gallinari's or Bogdanovic because he just found his 3-point shot in the regular season for us. And it did improve it dramatically, granted, but I would not compare his shot to those guys. And I didn't say Hunter yet, and I didn't say Huerter yet.
Because they weren't as effective as Bogdanovic. That's who's been killing them.
No, that's what I'm
saying. Stills, I want you to look up. What about I want you to look up. Are any 5 players on the Knicks that you want their open 3 percentage this playoff series? And look up Bogdanovic, Hunter, Huerter, Collins, Gallinari. All those, that's 5 players. That's just 5 players. Look up their open 3.
So I'm gonna say this.
Burke's not hitting. Bullock's not hitting. Burke's not hitting. Bullock's not hitting. Barrett's not hitting. Randall's not hitting. So if that's 4 players for us, Steels, those
so why did we win game 2?
Because we literally made more shots, and they didn't.
Yeah. That was the only difference. They didn't make any shot. They was wide open.
Exactly.
Everything
but that happens.
They lost games because they missed their wide open shots. They lost their one game because they didn't make any shots.
In the third quarter, they hit a drive.
And guess what? Their third quarter is every game for us.
But that means that we aren't making any real adjustments because they were still getting the same looks that they got all series long. They just didn't make shots.
You know why?
That's how exactly.
No. It don't got to do with coaching.
No. Hold on, Hardwell. Sorry, I had to go outside again. I let my dog out. That's why I'm off camera. I apologize. But
where my dog's at?
I got to take a little puppy out.
Rest in peace,
DMX.
Yes, rest in peace. But if you just said it, so they missed their shots that they normally make, and that's why they lost the game.
Yeah.
And you notice Nate McMillan made 0 adjustments, and he's still up 3-1 because he trusts that they're going to make their shots. Yeah. Our coach is trusting our players to make the shots because that's all he can do, and they're missing the shots.
But
Nate McMillan, put Theo Pinson out there to make the shots?
No. But
I got a good question.
Nate McMillan is making the necessary adjustments on Julius Randle, our best player, our engine, the guy that's our engine. So he doesn't have to make any adjustments because it's been working.
Exactly. So he doesn't have to make any. We don't have to make any adjustments. We just have to make the shots. Wide open threes. If you know, as a coach, Hardwell can tell you this too. Hardwell can tell you this as a coach. All you can do is draw up plays that generate wide open shots. And that's what the Knicks have been doing. Plays that cause wide open shots. We just miss. It's a make or miss league. How many times have you heard that it's a make or miss league?
But the guys on our team historically haven't been knocked down jump shooters.
We're the third best three-point shooting team in the league.
No, okay, they were the third best, but if you look at guys' individual numbers before this season, it doesn't.
Yeah, but that don't matter.
No, it does matter because they are.
No, what I'm saying is
they are. So they played out of their mind.
Oh, so now you're gonna say they are who they are. Now you're gonna say they are who they are. So that means
But again, it goes back to what I'm saying is that you need to play to their strengths. If they're not a jump shooting team, why are you setting up plays with jump shot? Why not attack?
Because we have Clint Capella that is throwing every shot we throw up.
Okay, but why not attack him to get him in foul trouble?
They're not calling the fouls. They're not calling the fouls.
Listen, I got a good resolution for all of this because we blaming the coach, and I wanted to ask if we had Trae Young, would this change the whole way the series is? And it's maybe a crazy question.
If we had Trae Young, Tibbs probably wouldn't have played him the same.
No, I'm talking about we be winning the series because we keep blaming the coach.
Yes,
I'm trying to make a good point to you that Trae Young changes the dynamic because he can shoot from the logo, so you got to guard him, and then he's going by. If you double team him, hold on, my last point on this. You're good. If you double team him, he's gonna pass it, and they're gonna make the shot.
And also,
you sounding redundant, but that's basketball.
Exactly, and it's not fair.
If you double team me, I'm gonna pass it to the open man and put my hands up like this and run back down court. That's called an assist.
And it's not fair to say that he wouldn't play Trae Young the same because he trusted Derrick Rose his whole career. Derrick Rose is an awful defender. He played Derrick Rose his whole career. He's an awful defender.
Yeah, Derrick Rose is a different player. He can't hit the three. Yeah, that's totally different.
No, I'm just saying that he played Derrick Rose because even though he didn't play defense.
No, listen.
Trae Young
I understand what you're saying because of the defense point. Okay, but this is my point why I said that because Trae Young make you have to guard him all the way out. I always try to give my player perspective because when you got to come out to the three-point line and guard me, and I said the same thing for Julius. This is what made Julius' game catapult all the way to where he is. When he extended his range, now you didn't have to guard him at the foul line no more. You had to go way out on him, and he could put the ball on the floor. He's a lefty, so he was killing like that. Trae Young's doing the same thing. If he can hit the ball shot from the logo, you're going to go guard him. He's going to get in your paint, and that draws Noel and all the big men to come to him, and then he kicks the ball. That's the same thing Z's saying that we are doing, but we're not making our shot. If Burke wake up, Barrett make his shot, we'll be fine. If you think we go on a 7 steals, this is the solution. This is the solution to getting a 7 and winning if our players hit the shot. Nobody I've been right. I predicted that Peyton was going to the bench. He did. I predicted Barrett wasn't going to do nothing, and he didn't.
And ever since then, it's downhill. Ever since then.
No, but we coming back. We gonna get adjusted. It's okay. We coming.
Yeah, and please don't take what I said. It still said that he probably wouldn't play Trae Young the same. But what I meant was he would still play Trae Young huge minutes, even though he's not a good defender like he did with Rose his whole career. I wasn't saying they're the same player.
Oh, no, you're right. He would play him more than Nate McMillan is probably because Tibbs just want to drain his players. That's the only thing I don't like about Tibbs. But as far as his decision on who to put in the lineup and who to do this, blah, blah, blah,
well,
if
really,
we take away Derrick Rose points, we're not in none of these games, bro. Be honest.
Tibbs is quote unquote draining his players playing big minutes because he has to. If you look at it,
I agree.
Every team, especially in the playoffs, every team, no team goes 11 deep. It's either 9 or 10. Some of them 8. And the best players in the league, they might like load management. They might not play huge minutes in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they're playing 40 minutes a game. We had to play Julius Randle 37.5 minutes a game this year to get where we are. Same with RJ Barrett. Same with
how many young players is on the Knicks?
If you play them 30 minutes a game this year, we're not winning as many games. Tibbs is a professional basketball coach making millions for a reason. He's a coach of the year candidate for a reason.
Yeah. And he got outplayed by Monty Williams. He got outcoached by Monty Williams. He got outcoached by Nate McMillan. That's
Monty Williams has Chris Paul, which is his extension on the floor. If Tom Thibodeau had Chris
I told him that too.
Derrick Rose is Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, but he's not Chris Paul.
All right then.
Derrick Rose is not Chris Paul. That's not Tibbs' fault. Tibbs had Chris Paul. If we had Chris Paul this year, do you understand how much better we would be?
No, I definitely know that. I definitely know that.
Chris Paul gonna go out with his shoulder, and he ain't going.
No, I get that. A healthy Chris Paul is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
A healthy Chris Paul.
Yeah, but that's like saying if was a split, same thing. We got to be more like what we need because it's like, basically, like you said, Z, the players got to hit the shot. It's basketball. If everybody would have to be respectfully stay on their man, then it would be easier for Julius Randle to score. And this what Stills is not understanding.
If they're making the shots.
No, not even about making the shot. You don't have to look. If I give you a good example, my point I'm making is this: if Trae Young doesn't have the same problem, you know why? They have to stay home. He asks you why we're not doubling him. They can't double him because they're making their shots and they're going to make more shots.
Make everybody else make more shots then.
If Reggie
make them the whole game. If Reggie he doesn't score 20 and 30 points.
If Reggie, that's not the case. You wouldn't be looking at that point if we would have been getting our shots.
If Reggie and RJ and all these guys like Harbaugh and I keep saying are making their shots stills, then they can no longer double team Randall. And if they can no longer double team him, it's game over.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all something, man. And this is real talk. Like, to be honest with y'all, Julius Randle's offensive game is very limited. It is.
Right now?
No, period. Do you see him taking guys in the paint all the time? Like, do you see him trying to take his man down in the paint and abusing him mismatches?
30 points against the Hawks. He averaged 30.
He's settled all the time.
30 points against the Hawks.
37.
Before they started double teaming him.
In the regular season.
No, listen, still. They did not show the double team.
The regular season.
They did not show the double team because they know that was a potential first-round matchup. And Nick McMillan, I just watched him talk about that. Nick McMillan had a scheme for him. He schemed he's stacking the paint on him. That's why he keep pump faking it. And like Z said, Clint Capella's right there.
Stills, that's like saying
you attack Clint Capella. Go ahead.
Stills, that's literally like saying when Giannis and them were getting bounced in the first round or second round. Well, why don't Giannis just take it to the rack more?
Giannis's game is limited.
Put a wall up.
No, his game is limited. His game is limited too.
They're playing a quasi zone against Julius Randle the same way they did against Giannis. And it's working. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's but no, Julius can shoot. There's just missing. Julius Randle's offense is not limited. Let me tell you why. He literally came into the league as a bruiser, a post player, and a guy that can take people off the dribble. He still has that. The thing is, shooting more threes to open that up. Okay. And since there's only been one other player to have a season like him, and it was Larry Bird. Would you say his offense was limited? He's the only player to have 20 plus, 10 plus, and 5 plus with 40% from deep in the history of the league. There's only two.
And he's going to do that for the rest of his career now. He already figured it out now. He's going to continue to do
capability to me.
So let me ask y'all a question because we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Free agency, Julius Randle, his contract is up. Are you reading him up for big money?
Yes.
Y'all look crazy.
Who are you gonna, if you don't, we're a lottery team.
I'm not giving him.
Well, I guess it depends. It depends on how big money.
He's not getting all that money. This playoff experience, the Knicks are not giving him the money that he was expecting to get.
Now listen, listen to this. To get a super contract, he has to have 2 All-Pro, 2 All-NBA's appearances, and 2 All-Star appearances. They're offering him the extension with the articles and everything saying this season, which means the most he can get is like $28 million a year. If Supermax, you're talking 40 plus a year. So if they get him at $28 million a year, if you get him at $28 million a year now, that's a bargain.
Yeah. You know why I would pay him? Because he did this for us for no money. Number one, let's be clear. He did this for us for no money. He deserves his money, right? Okay. Number two, his shot is gonna be like this for the rest of his career now because he figured it out. The playoffs he never figured out yet, and that's what nobody is understanding. My point is, granted, all the Knicks fans are gonna feel this way after the season is over, but I feel like this now because if we know we're not gonna win, let's do this right. Let's be clear on, because if we're not going to win a chip, then what are we doing here? We just criticizing this man that got us here like this?
He didn't do it by himself. Y'all keep saying.
No. Let me tell you why he got us here.
He didn't do it by himself.
We made this point of that if everybody on our team could shoot, then he would have a one-on-one matchup. We have so many guys that we don't have to even guard, so we could double Julius Randle. When a team has to double you, that means you're a threat, bro. That means, number one, he's a left-handed player, and he's hitting his 3. I already broke down why you can't guard him right now, and he averaged 37 on the Hawks. The only reason he's not doing it now because they're doubling and triple team.
It was actually it's a quasi-triple team. Where I say it's called a quasi-zone because they're putting Collins on when Alfred Payton was playing. They're putting Collins on Alfred, and they were putting Trae Young on Reggie Bullock, so that Trae Young could try to get the steal. Collins and Capella could double team. And what's that? If Trey's helping, a triple team against Julius Randle every possession.
See? And you want Payton on the court, and they don't even have to guard him.
Pay attention to that. Go back and watch that film.
He was getting. They're doing the same thing with Derrick Rose on the court. So what's the difference? What's the difference?
You have someone who can score the ball,
man. Someone that can score the ball when it doesn't matter when we're still losing by 15 and 20 points a game.
We only lost by 15 to 20 points one game.
I mean,
you lost by one game.
Man. Y'all are sitting there telling me about this great defensive scheme that they're putting against Julius Randle with Derrick Rose in the lineup. 2 games. We wasn't competitive in Atlanta at all, period. So y'all are telling me that, okay, it would have been that much worse for Alfred Payton in Atlanta?
Yeah, because let me tell you why.
Oh, man, please.
Listen, y'all both agree that, Trae Young don't play D, Rose don't play D. We all agreed on that. Cool.
Nah, I'm just trying to let y'all understand why, even though y'all are saying that, Derrick Rose needs to be in the lineup, they still getting smacked.
No, still this 40 point loss.
But if Alec Burks and Emmanuel quickly average their season average off the bench, it's not a problem.
They quit in game 3. They quit in game 3, and they got slapped in game 4. They lost 113-96 in game 4. They lost 105-94 in game 3, and they quit in game 3. It wasn't even that close. So what difference does it make by putting D Rose in the starting lineup?
I don't understand what's this debate about D Rose.
No. Because I'm just saying, my whole point is that you destroyed the chemistry in the starting lineup by putting Derrick Rose in the starting lineup when he did.
This is the playoffs.
If anything though, Stills, if you want to start a defensive-minded guy, you start Frank because Frank can at least make an open 3. Alfred Payton can't.
Oh,
can't shoot, man.
I'm not
saying I wouldn't start Frank, but I wouldn't start Frank.
You said Frank.
I wouldn't start Frank.
I'm saying over Payton Hardwell. I'm saying over Alfred Payton because Alfred can't shoot.
Listen, the reason why
he said at times Julius Randle runs right into the double trying to bum rush the zone, and then he loses the ball on the same play.
He do.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know who else did that?
That's low basketball IQ.
You know who else did that? Giannis Antetokounmpo for 2.5 straight playoffs.
Yo, man.
Strange.
That's not low IQ. That's not being experienced in the playoffs.
Trying to do too much.
No, hold on. Can I say one thing?
Smart basketball.
Listen. If Julius Randle never even been most improved player before, he never did what he did on the Knicks before on no team, that means he never been in the playoffs before. So my point is, he never did what he do. He never been through what he's going through right now. To make one last point on the whole the whole Peyton Rose thing. This is my last point on it. If Tibbs is doing that, it's because they're not playing D, understandable. But if Peyton's not playing D and stopping the guy we need to stop, and he's not giving me no points, I got to keep Rose in the game.
So Derrick Rose isn't playing defense either. He's been cooking Derrick Rose.
Exactly, but Alfred Payton can't score 30.
I just said that. Listen. If we take away the 30 points, we lose by 40. Even if I say, even if I say 25 of those points or 20 of those points, we getting smacked. So
I understand.
I need you after the season, so you got Obi's dad on. I need you to have Obi's dad hit up Obi and get.
I'm gonna get Taj on too. I'm gonna have Taj Gibson on here too.
So and you need to ask Taj these questions, and he'll tell you exactly what Tibbs is thinking.
Yeah,
exactly the same shit we're telling you still.
No, man.
You know what's crazy, Z? I said everything that already happened already. I said he's taking Peyton out the lineup. Go watch the last episode. They said that. I said,
I watch you guys. I'm a big
fan. Watch what I said. Everything I said happened already. So I guess everything I'm saying again is going to happen again. So it's cool with me. I said Peyton doesn't need to start. Peyton didn't start. He tried it one more game, and then the second half, he didn't start him.
And it destroyed the chemistry of the team. He didn't start. It destroyed the chemistry of the team.
You know what's destroying the chemistry? His mother posting that on Facebook.
If weakened our bench. It made us not get in the fight. We don't need Emmanuel quickly. The guy I've been making.
I didn't say that.
There's certain things to be.
I didn't say that still.
This is a job, Stu, at the end of the day for these guys, right? So at our jobs, at my job, if they decide to give me like jobs I don't want or Stu, I got to show professionalism. Alfred Payton showed zero professionalism along with his mother. He should have stopped his mom.
Now, it was his mom.
When quickly
he made a bad move.
Hold on. When quickly or RJ's minutes get diminished, do you see them complaining? Do you see their parents crying? Do you see Obi's dad crying or saying stupid stuff? No. Professionals.
Yeah. So Z, that point is well taken. Yes, but at the end of the day, his mom is saying that they tried to blame everything on Alfred Payton.
The fans did.
Isn't doing it right.
The fans did.
Come on, man.
The fans.
That's why
can I ask you a question about Alfred Payton? Because I'm not really sure. Not trying to be funny. Has he ever played good in the playoffs on any team?
He's never been in the playoffs.
So what are we talking about here? How many years he been in the league for?
Bro,
this is what I'm trying to say.
I am trying to be funny about Alfred Payton.
Bro, I know players. This guy's not a player.
Man has a flash tattoo on his right bicep and is the slowest point guard in the league.
Yeah, that's enough for you guys tonight. You ain't gonna do that tonight, man.
He's the slowest point guard.
But look, back on a serious note, when we talking statistics, Z, I asked what team did he ever? No team. So what is the merit on us having to? Now we know Tibbs is going on experience if we see Taj and Rose out there. Now, like you said earlier, I heard you mention he wasn't sure about Rose's legs, and I agree with that. But now he see what he's doing. Now, if Peyton was a little bit better, or if he would have had better attitude, I think he was trying to give him more of a chance, honestly speaking. Tibbs was, because at the beginning, he kept putting him in, he kept starting him. He didn't do nothing. He didn't just take him out like that. You know why I know for a fact, Stills? Because I told you he was coming out, right? That last episode we had, and that next game, he started. But then halftime, he didn't start after that. And I said, see, Tibbs just wanted to give him another chance. And that's all that was. It
Tibbs
was all
gave
about
him ample amount of chances.
Yes. Still, do you agree with that?
He gave Julius 3 chances to score no more than 15 and a half.
About 60.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. He needs to stop comparing Julius to Peyton, right, Z?
I'm just saying.
You can't say that, bro.
I'm just saying.
Look, if you Julius Randle, right, and he's Peyton, let's just say, right, I'm not talking to him the same way I'm talking to you, bro. I will put this.
And that is the problem.
That's in basketball
today.
That's
why.
The problem.
That's how basketball works, bro.
No, it is. But
Coach,
that's
you
why.
coach and ask Greg Popovich. Hold on, would you guys
This
agree?
is why Greg Popovich is the type of coach that he is.
You guys agree?
Why everybody is where they are.
Agree that Greg Popovich is probably the best coach of all time, at least
arguably. Of all time. Why? Because he treats everybody the same.
No, you know what he said, and you can look it up. Every player needs coached differently.
Mm-hmm. And he got bumped in the playing game. And he got bumped in the playing game.
He coached Tim Duncan differently than he coached the Admiral. He coaches Manu different than Tony, and Tony different than Manu. He never coached the guy the same.
And you know why? Those years he went far.
He would never do what Tibbs did. Taking out a guy that started for you all season that helped you get to where you are today, no matter how bad he played.
He literally benched Manu Ginobili in the middle of a championship run.
And Manu is a bad player?
No, but that just dissolved your argument because you said he wouldn't bench someone. He benched Manu Ginobili in the middle.
I never heard nobody
even fight to do it.
I never heard nobody. Yo, you're the only person I ever heard fight for Alfred Payton besides his mom. Besides his mom,
man.
Yo, besides his moms. Yeah, shout out to Jay Boogie. That's my guy, man. What up, Jay Book? Yo, besides his moms, you the only one fighting for this guy. And I don't want to
I was fighting for Peyton too.
Yeah, listen, man.
Well, both of y'all wrong as hell. Because I asked you guys, what team did he ever play on in the playoffs? He been in the league 6 years, maybe. He'd never been there, bro. So this is what proves if you're good or not, bro. Trae Young is better than him. Haven't even been in the league as long. Barrett's better than him. I can name tons of players better than Peyton. Oh, my bad. Barrett's not a point guard. My bad. Derrick Rose is better than him right now after all of these surgeries. Let's be honest.
The thing is, Alfred Payton is not fit. And I'm not even saying he's a bad player. He just doesn't fit this team.
He's a bad player, man. Stop it.
Anybody who has a string of 8 triple doubles in a row in an NBA season is a bad player, man. He dusts any of us one-on-one. He's a good basketball player. But what I'm saying is he's not a starter.
I always thought he was just a defensive player, Z.
But his career average at 10 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He's not bad. You can't call someone a bad NBA player when their career averages are 10, 5, and 7. He's just not good on this team. He's not.
What team is that good on? Tell me.
He's good with a team with shooters around him, is what I'm saying.
He played
off the bench. He's a sub, right? He's off the bench.
That doesn't mean he's bad. Just play a good NBA player off the bench.
63.
So why are we arguing to start him on the New York Knicks? This is my
point. Because he started 63 games this season.
And
he started for 63 games this season, and we won 41.
And I'm telling you right now, if Derrick Rose was healthy enough to start all those games, guess what would have happened? If it was prime Derrick Rose?
That's that he said earlier, 28 and 3 or whatever.
23 and 8 with Derrick Rose in the line.
23 and 8 with Derrick Rose. You can't. Numbers don't lie, bro.
When Derrick Rose plays and gets more than 30 minutes a game, they're 23 and 8.
And you and son that was on the other episode was fighting for Dennis Smith Jr. You know how bad we would have been? Yo, these guys was fighting for Dennis Smith Jr. and Peyton. Stills and another guest we had.
That's Jay.
I think my man Fligger. Yeah, and I was going crazy like, yo, just imagine if we had DJ and Peyton. Yo, bro, do you know how bad we would have got our butts kicked? No. But that's why I love our show. Because me and Stills have such a
man, that's supposed to be your co-host, man. You don't do him like that.
We go back and forth. We like Stephen A. and Max.
I'm not even going to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. I'm not going to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. because at one point in time, Dennis Smith Jr.'s career was promising. He came to New York and the wheels fell off. He wasn't a bad basketball player. I thought coming into the system that Tom Thibodeau would have helped him get to where he needed to be.
The problem that was my thing. It's all up here with that.
Yeah, it's all mental now.
35%.
Everybody can't play for New York.
Field goal percentage as an average in Dallas. It wasn't as good as you think. He was on a bad team and he was getting all the shots. Once Luka came,
it was over.
He's their MVP because he got them Luka Doncic. Just like Alfred Payton's Phoenix is MVP because he got them Devin Booker. These guys are tank commanders. That's what they are, and that's what they're good at.
Exactly. Like he wouldn't even got Luka if Son was good. And that's what I'm trying to say. How can we fight for players to be on the New York Knicks?
63 games. He played 63 games.
What was his averages?
41 of them.
You were bringing up the box scores. What was Alfred Payton's averages as a starter?
He averaged 10 points this year. Ooh. 10 points. I mean, so what? Everybody can't average 30. Julius Randle had the best season of his career. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists a game. And they won 41 games.
And what was Alfred Payton, or I mean, what was Emmanuel Quickly's averages this year for people who say he wasn't a point guard because he couldn't pass the ball? 11.2 rebounds, 2 assists. So he had 1 more assist than Emmanuel Quickly, 1 more rebound. Mm-hmm. He's not a true point guard for this team.
And he's been in the league for 6 years too. Don't forget to add that.
What he did was afford Emmanuel Quickly to play against other second-tier players. And this is why Derrick Rose was so effective.
I think Tibbs wanted to give him a chance.
Putting him in the starting lineup weakened our bench. Can we all admit that? Because our bench has done nothing since he's been in the starting lineup.
Alec Burks hasn't made a
shot
quickly.
Alec Burks has done
nothing. So you know what though, Stills, you got a good point. You know why? Because
Alec Burks has done nothing since game 2.
Yeah, but does Rose shoot his shots?
No. They're not making
again. My point is, you leave Derrick Rose where he was. Guys in the second unit fed off of Derrick Rose.
I agree. They fed off of Derrick Rose. Had a good enough Emmanuel Quickly,
and even
I can't agree with that.
Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin played well with Derrick Rose. They both played well with Derrick Rose in the line, and he even went on record and said, "I'm gonna keep these guys under my wing."
Yo, Stills, once you hear Tibbs say what he said about the whole situation, that helped you figure out what really happened. He said he didn't know Derrick Rose had the legs, because this is my main point. Payton is so far off from being a good starting point guard, especially at the Knicks. People like Colin Sexton and players like that is way better than Son. I'm just trying to give you a good example. They are, bro. So the main point is this. He was on Dallas. Oh, no, wherever he was. We was talking about Dennis Smith Jr., the tank guys, right? They not playing good enough.
He's putting up the stuff that agrees with him.
No. I'm just going back. He said Tibbs. I'm just saying, should Tibbs go back to Payton to start?
No.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense now because he already ruined the chemistry. By doing that, it's going to send mixed signals to the team.
And Robert, ruining the chemistry could be you ain't playing no D, you ain't making no shots. That ruined the chemistry.
But the thing is, if you're, it doesn't spare Rose because Alfred Payton only got 5 minutes the last game.
But my point is
before that.
I get that, but my point is this, Robert. My point is this, man. Derrick Rose strived this season against second-tier bench players, man, and he sparked the bench for our team. That's why our bench was better than most other teams' benches. When you remove that spark plug from the bench and now add him to the starters, you weaken our bench. And then you ruin the chemistry in the starting lineup.
But the thing
Can I ask you a question? Is the playoffs more?
Because they thought Alec Burks would fill in good at the backup point guard because he literally did all season.
That's true. But he was hurt though, Z.
No, yeah, I understand.
And like Robert is saying, the second unit is going to have to learn to work without Rose. How? When all they know is playing with him the whole season. Why do that in the playoffs now?
I got a question for you.
Can do it.
Is the playoffs more magnified, Stills? This is my question for you, Stills. Is the playoffs more magnified?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yes, so does the teams make adjustments for the playoffs and they do all of this stuff?
Oh, my God.
That's what's going on. And the only reason I'm saying it like that is because when teams make adjustments on us, the coaches have to make adjustments too. And we said earlier that he did give Payton an ample amount of opportunities. When you're watching a game and you see a player come out and start the beginning of the game and don't start the next half, those are drastic decisions. And coaches don't just make those moves like that. And the reason why is this is an easy way to figure this out. If you take away my 30 points that I started and gave y'all, if I come off the bench, do I still give y'all 30? No, maybe not. Let me tell you why. Derrick Rose is going into the offense early because Julius and them wasn't hitting. And he had to go and put up that floater. That's a good player's mentality. And that's why Tibbs got him on the floor for that reason, because he's a seasoned playoff player, just like Taj. Everybody else, we already agreed that they haven't been in this position, so that's why they're not making shots. So it would make sense for a good coach to put more experienced players on the floor until my other players make their shots.
So that game that Derrick Rose scored 30 points, that was the worst beating that we took this whole playoff series.
We keep blaming Rose for scoring 30.
No.
Why Randall didn't do what he was supposed to do?
I'm just trying to understand. Like,
how many free throws we missed? How much shots Randall took? We said that earlier. I agree with you. Randall's forcing his shot. Like Z said,
and guess what?
Supporting cast got to make their shots.
If Reggie Bullock didn't have a goose egg and RJ didn't suck until it was garbage time,
no, man.
And blah, 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 blah. If all these
I was traveling. I was on a plane. I couldn't watch the game. So I don't really know everything that I'm going to go back and watch that game. But I was traveling on that game, you know? So, but I do already know what's going on. Like, he's being doubled, supporting cast not making shots. Tibbs' only problem you could blame him for if you don't put the people on the floor who making shots right now. So I kind of agree with Stills when give Toppin more minutes, because remember, it is more minutes if Peyton ain't getting minutes, and we got to make up for the minutes that Rose is playing more. We got to manage those well. So Toppin could get those minutes, Quickly need those minutes, and Burks need those minutes, if you ask me. But there's so many good players on the team. We don't need Peyton at all. Yeah, when he brought us in the regular season was very good, but this the playoffs now, and when you could go home in a matter of 2 or 3 games, we don't have time for you to get it together. The only person that he's given a chance to get it together is the person that really got us there, which is Julius, and that's just what all coaches do. They gonna give the ball to the person that got him there. They're gonna lose on him, and I still think that the people in position think how we think as far as being ahead of what we're supposed to be right now. Even though we do want to win, I think they're kind of looking at that too. We need to see who we're going to replace. And these guys like Peyton or who not doing nothing, maybe we're going to bag them up in the trade. Like,
yo, man.
Like,
I ain't gonna
bag them up and ship them out.
Yo, man. I can't lie, man. You know, we had a long day today, man. We had this Memorial Day barbecue for the station.
And then we went 2 hours. This is our first 2-hour episode.
Yeah, man.
That's because I came on and pissed off still.
Yeah, nah, Z. You ain't just be okay. I love this. I love this, baby.
I love like that, Z. He not like that, Z.
Yeah,
I grew up with Stills, too. I knew Stills since I was a kid from Jamaica, Queens. He not like that. He got thick skin. You could talk shit with him.
I got 3 shows, bro. I got 3 shows, bro.
So he goes through this all the time.
That's more points. That's more shows than Alfred Payton had points. You should start at point guard, still.
Hey, man, listen, back in my heyday, maybe I could have, but now not so much. It's all right. But look, man, I can't front, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man.
Great show.
That was on the station today. That's what up.
Stills, you got to go on their show. My bad, I mean to cut you. You got to go on their show one time at least, bro.
I think I was on one of the first ones, man. But yeah, I mean, y'all don't be sending me the invites, bro. You know,
I haven't been on there in a couple weeks.
I'll be running.
Invite. The next show I get the link, I'm gonna send it to you. They got to open invite.
All you do is you come to the show, man, and the link's in the chat. Anybody comes on.
No. But you know what the thing is, though?
You got 3 shows.
and then I'll be in the street so much, doing so much, man. You know what I mean?
He got tournaments. He got 3 shows. He everywhere.
I do a lot, man. My merch, they was asking about merch. I do all this stuff, man. You know what I mean? So it's a lot, but I'll make the time, man, if I know in advance, man. So I'm going to follow what you guys are doing, and then will keep me posted, and then, we link up, man, for sure, and talk more, man. I got to work in the morning, man. I ain't going to lie to you, man, for real. I'm tired. But man, it was real, man. I like talking this type of talk. You know what I mean? But Knicks in 7, 1 game at a time.
Knicks in 7. I'm riding that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Obi gonna have a big game. Yeah.
Knicks in 10.
We're gonna win in the Garden.
Yeah, we're gonna win in the Garden. We're gonna win in the Garden. And then when they go to Atlanta, anything is possible.
1 game at a time, Z.
That's it.
I'm gonna come on your show and tell you. I told you 7.
Because I hope so. I pray to God.
No, I know you do.
The thing is, also too, if we win in the Garden on Wednesday night, don't underestimate that the Hawks haven't been there either, and it's one completely different closing out a series.
Exactly. They nervous too. They don't know how to close. I just seen somebody else say that in a post. You're right. Yeah, great show today, though, y'all, man.
Word. Shout out to Will, man. Yo, man, enjoy the rest of your birthday vacation, man. For real.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Happy birthday, bro.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, man. So y'all know what it is, man. Still's a great Will Z. You know what I mean? Tell Z, tell everybody where to check you out, man, for your show.
We're For the Love of the Game podcast, man. We're on YouTube. Look us up, like and subscribe if you want to. We have Marvel on a lot. You know, we'll have Stills on whenever he can. We've had a lot of good guests so far. We've had Robin Lundberg from ESPN and Sports Illustrated. We've had JJ Moore from the Westchester Knicks. We've had former St. John's captain Sharif Fordham, former professional boxer Mean Joe Green. Got a lot of good guests. We're going to have Marquand Smith on from Godfather Harlem.
Nice.
We like to have a lot of guests to get a professional aspect.
Those are all my guys, still. I know all those guys.
Yeah, and you and Worldwide L, man. Thanks to Worldwide L for the guests.
Shout out Worldwide L, 40 stand up.
You know,
that's my guy from far out.
It's always nice to get that professional aspect because, like, we can debate and all this on what they should do. It's also nice to hear from a pro, you know, what's going on.
Oh, nah, tell me about it, kid. Yeah, I had a few people, man. I don't even, man, the list can go on. I could tell you about all types of people that come on these platforms, man.
But it's great. It's a great thing, man. They all give back and help. And
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's great.
Man. So, again, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for real, man. And Harwell, you know how we do it, man. I always got to go out with the anthem, kid. You already know.
Yeah, put that anthem on.
Next week, man. 10 to 11, man. Knicks Talk Nation Radio every Monday, man. Live on Ball Radio. You know what I mean? I'll check y'all later, kid. Peace.
With the Knicks, I mean, that's a no-brainer because they have, you know, multiple pieces and they have a great coach.
And now, please welcome your New York Knicks.
New York City, we back. The Big Apple, NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in the minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for short. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Down at the Garden, MSG, it be live. The Knicks are back and it's time. The Razor banner next to Ewing's retired. 33, not degrees, it's Novocaine shooting threes. Wrap the belt around his waist, he got the cannon set to squeeze. From downtown, forget the mound of rebound. He said New York is whack, approving facts, so Charles is a clown. My squad stacked, that's a fact, and we built for combat. Some of you cats and commentators, we straight haters like Shaq. I dunk on you like Stat, and it's a rap with Coach Woody at the helm and Jason Kidd got his back. With Shumpert Smith on standby to attack, so watch your back on alley-oops, protect your dome, I share a poster with cats. The brother Mello, he go hard in the paint. They playing deep, but they can't contain the boy, is really ball in the paint. Takes more than Jay for you to be the toast of the town. And Knickerbocker basketball, the greatest city around. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Now we got the Nets that move into town. New York and Brooklyn showdown, but NYC has always been a Knick town. Orange and blue, we rock the colors with pride. Let's take it back to Walt Clyde and Earl LeBron going to work on you guys. The UN era was live. It started in 85. The Twin Towers would devour you guys. R.I.P. to Dick the Butcher. We could never overlook a Nick legend up in heaven smiling down on our future. Bernard King, he was a scoring machine. He was a human wrecking ball, straight up destroying your team. There was no defense you could draw in the scheme. From post-game to mid-range, you had no chance. He would just shatter your dreams. Rod Strickland, Action Jackson, John Starks, he played with passion. Larry Johnson, Oaken Mason did a lot of party crashing. On any team who try to step to NY. And if you put the jersey on, you better rock it with pride. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.
We all have the same goal, and that's to try to win a championship.